Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
Hello, you guys. Welcome in to a watch along for the season home opener, regular season opener for your Colorado Avalanche. We've had a triple header here today, 3 different games, this being the final one. So thank you guys so much for hopping in and joining us. Game time is not slated to start until 8:50. So we got a little bit of time to sit and chat about what we are going to see today here, Grant. Zakhar Bardakov is scratched for this Colorado Avalanche team. Parker Kelly will be centering the 4th line, which also means Gavin Brindley will be making his Avs debut. This guy, we've talked about it a while, has been a shining star through training camp, through the first couple preseason games, especially. Just overall thoughts about Brindley finally cracking this roster and getting some time in a regular season matchup.
Well, I think it's very fun. You know, everybody's seen him all throughout the season or all throughout the preseason and rookie camp, kind of being accelerated further into the lineup. Battling his way through training camp, finally making a roster spot. And it looks like it's going to be a good night for Gavin Brindley. Probably a little bit tough if he's going to crack the score sheet, especially considering that we're, playing the LA Kings.
Mm-hmm.
But, hopefully he can just be a productive 4th liner, which is something the Avalanche don't have a lot of.
No. And, I will say this move is particularly interesting to me, coming from a Bednar who said he really liked both Ross Colton and Parker Kelly at wing, thought they excelled there. All of a sudden, this guy who you've been experimenting with at 4Cs, the guy that you're scratching, you're putting Parker Kelly in a spot where you've honestly been kind of hyping the fan base up almost, but also kind of preparing the team for him to play at wing. I just thought that was kind of an interesting move heading into this game.
Yeah, I mean, Bardakov coming from the KHL, he's not quite there yet in terms of his skating. Yeah, I think everybody on the Avalanche fan base can kind of agree with that. I just think, maybe he's not ready. And honestly, that's fine. We don't need him to be ready at the beginning of the season. We need to see progress. And if that means him being in the AHL for a little bit, getting his feet wet there, coming back up, and then, gliding into victory, I'm all for it. Right. Sorry, by the way, everyone. I'll be making puns all night.
Mr. Resident Hot Take Artist here is heading into pun territory. It's a little strange.
Sorry that Bailey doesn't have more Avalanche gear, though. I tried to give her an Avs draft hat from 2016, but she didn't want to wear it.
I'm putting my reporter cap on today, so that's how that's rolling today. Heading into expectations here, I'm gonna kind of pull up a roster so we can kind of look at it.
I can't believe the Penguins shut out the Rangers, though.
No,
that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for New York. That's not good.
So as far as the roster report is sitting here today, Scott Wedgwood starting in net for the Avalanche. That wasn't really much of a surprise. Mackenzie Blackwood did not travel with the team to LA. If I had to put my metaphorical money anywhere, I'd put it on Blackwood not being ready for game 2 for the home opener on Thursday either against the Mammoth. But he is listed as a scratch on today's roster. Jack Ashan, who also cleared waivers and was not sent down like the other waiver wire player in Keaton Middleton, who was sent down to the Colorado Eagles, or up in our geographical case. But yeah, Jack Ashan, not dressing for this game, but still listed as a scratched roster player. And Zakar Bardakov, like I said, for as far as starting matchup or starting lineup goes for your Colorado Avalanche, Devon Taves and Cale Makar listed as the starting defensemen, and you will see that starting top line, McKinnon centering it with Arturi Lehkonen and Martin Necas on his wings. Now, we saw a little bit of a mashup with the top two left wings in Valeri Nichushkin and Arturi Lehkonen as well. I honestly did not mind once Lehkonen started kind of falling into a role with that McKinnon-Necas duo. I didn't mind him on that top line. I think going back to Arturi Lehkonen is almost, I wouldn't say the definition of insanity, but you also kind of see during that Stars series that it maybe doesn't work out the way that you're hoping it to. Just curious on what your thoughts are on Lehkonen getting the start on the top line here tonight.
I mean, I've said it on our podcast, but in case people are new here, because technically we are representing all of THPN, I don't think Lehkonen's really the guy for the top line. I think it's more Nichushkin. Lehkonen's just a little out of his depth when it comes to the speed of the top line in of itself. I think Nichushkin lends his hand there a little bit better, especially with Necas and McKinnon both being more playmaking minded and Nichushkin being really goal scoring only out of him. You don't really see him going and, making these amazing passes all over the place. Connor saying that Necas being unhappy in Denver, that will continue to be the story until there is a deal signed.
There is also something to be said about him disputing this during an interview.
Yeah, but he's always gonna. But players are. But a player playing for a team is never gonna talk to the media and say, "Yeah, I don't like it here." That's the number one way to get your fans to hate you, especially considering you were the biggest piece in the Mikko Rantanen deal, which still upsets me.
Yeah, people are going to be upset about that for a long time.
Seeing him as a Stars uniform on NHL 26.
He's going to be in town on Saturday.
I just hope that he doesn't win anything in Dallas.
You're just bitter.
I am bitter.
Switching to
the other management.
Switching to the other side of the ice, familiar face in net for the LA Kings. Looks like Darcy Kemper will be getting the start for the LA Kings here tonight. As far as starting lineup goes for skaters, Drew Doughty and Mikey Anderson starting on the blue line. You got Philip Deneau centering a line of Trevor Moore and Warren Foegele. Now, this is not the same LA Kings team that got knocked out of the playoffs this last season, but what are your kind of standouts heading into this game on the other side of the ice? I mean,
the biggest story for the LA Kings this season, as someone who doesn't watch them but does pay attention to the overall NHL, is that with this being Kopitar's last year, which still kind of shocks me. I didn't really think he was going to be done. I just, Quentin Byfield, who has been always projected to be the next guy to take over the Kings, that is, if he's failing, Kempe's going to be gone, because Philip Deneau is not a top line center, as great as he is. He's an amazing second line center, 2.5. He can really be both the second line and the third line center on some teams. But I mean, for the Kings, you're going to get to the playoffs because the Pacific is,
it's not a gong fest. Let's put it that way.
You're not one of 5 teams. Like in the Central or in the Atlantic, there's 5 teams, 6 teams, really 7 teams in the Atlantic, less so the Central, that are all they're 3 wins away, 2 wins away from being in a playoff spot, and 2 losses away from being in a playoff spot.
Last thing I want to touch on, getting away from the LA Kings, now that we've kind of briefly done an overview on what we'll see from at least their top line. Still excited to see how they match up against a full Avs team. Two different storylines heading into this game. One, with the firing of Ray Bennett, we are seeing a brand new and for the first time fully complete iteration of the power play, which some may argue is the reason the Avalanche were bounced out of the playoffs against the Dallas Stars last season.
Questionably, they were bounced out because their special teams as a whole didn't do anything.
The biggest reason, sorry, clarifying. Many would argue that that is the biggest reason they were bounced out in the series against Dallas. Now, under Dave Haxtell, former coach for the Seattle Kraken, you are seeing a coach who is coming into this team with a mindset of these players are talented enough. I want to hone in on their strengths, and there's not necessarily much to change. This was, if I'm not mistaken, his quote when he had his media availability.
Bednar?
No, Haxtell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the best thing that Hackstall can do is be different from Ray Bennett. I think the Ray Bennett ideology had run its course. The NHL is famously a copycat league, just like every other sport, just like every sport is. You know, do they have a lot of variation with what they can do now with both Natchez and McKinnon being right-handed? Absolutely. But really, it's all going to kind of depend on, who is on that left side. They tried Nelson in the preseason. I think other people are better fit for that bill. I think Nelson's way better in the bumper or even in the net front. He's 6'4", for God's sake. You went out and got a special teams guy in Victor Olofsson, who's going to be having a tougher transition to the Avs.
Can I slide in here and say I'm a little surprised to not see him on the first unit?
Yeah, but I mean, you want to stick with, especially in the training camp and preseason, you want to stick with what's familiar while phasing in some of your more creative ideas.
I might disagree there.
Because especially for Dave Haxtell being brand new, he wants to see even how the old squad had worked and seeing, because then you can kind of take a reading on that and being like, this is what we do really well. This is what we don't do very well. And this is how we're going to change this moving forward. Because, there's 82 games and there's going to be a lot of teams that you start blowing out. If
Zach is watching, that is so many games. Continue.
There's a lot of games. You're going to be playing teams like the Sharks and the Blackhawks quite a bit. You do have teams that you can kind of ease the gas pedal on and try things out as long as you get off to a lead.
I don't know. I'm of the mindset that with the way Avs training camp works, you start working power play and special teams day 4. And from that point on, every team works preseason a little bit differently too. I know it's going to have to work even more differently heading into next season with the shortened preseason. But I'm almost of the mindset that you have, now that you've got a new coach, yes, you want to stick to what is familiar, but training camp is your opportunity to put those ideas in motion. So if you go out and get a special teams guy like Victor Olofsson, yes, there's the idea that you want to make the second unit better, and you've got a guy who can score on the power play on that second unit. Okay, great, cool. I don't know. I think with his finishing ability alone, the first power play unit already has that dynamic mobility. And then you add a finisher on that line as well in Victor Olofsson, and that makes it much more lethal, in my opinion. I don't know. I think, yes, there are many opportunities. It is only game 1, so there's some likelihood that we could see a different iteration of the power play come game 2 here in Denver. And again, maybe Saturday against the Dallas Stars. But I don't know. It was just an interesting thought to me.
The leash is short for especially the first power play unit. The second power play unit is kind of not really an afterthought, but is on the back burner. But the first power play unit has a very short leash with their performance last year, and how you really lost the series. You lost the series in games 2 and 3, where you had power plays late in the game and you could not capitalize on it, and that led to you losing by 1 goal in both those games. People want to, Mikko Rantanen has the hat trick in Game 7. Who cares? But it never gets to Game 7 if you figure out your power play stuff in Games 2 and Games 3, because in those 2 games specifically, you win Game 2 2-1, or hopefully against the Stars, and then in Game 3 you also win by a score of 1. You can't be putting it all together last second.
Yeah.
It is sad to see that this is Anze Kopitar's last season in the league, though.
Yeah, it sounds like we hopefully will not be waiting too much longer for a puck drop. It is still scheduled for 8:50.
But the matte helmets look way better on the Kings.
I do not like these helmets at all.
The matte helmet should be on every single team. The matte helmets are great.
I hate the chrome domes. I don't think these are much better.
This is a Stadium Series matchup.
While we're waiting for a national anthem to get going, one last storyline I want to talk about for the Colorado Avalanche. It has been, if I'm not mistaken, over 1,300 days since Gabriel Landeskog, the captain of this team, has played in a regular season.
You mean the greatest captain in the NHL? The best captain in the NHL right now.
Best caption or captain?
Captain, whatever.
Yeah, so Captain Gabriel Landeskog finally makes his regular season return to the ice. What are your expectations of him heading into Game 1 and beyond?
Be the captain we know you to be. We all know you're not going to be the same guy you once were. We just want you out on the ice, please and thank you.
I think there's something to be said to. I really like the attitude that they are going into this season with. I think. Are you wanting to?
Barkov is not the best captain in the NHL. I'm sorry. Or captain, sorry.
Your brother would like a word here.
Alexander Barkov is an elite top line center and an elite captain. But do you see Barkov dropping the mitts when a young guy on your team gets flattened? I don't think so. Do you see, Sasha Barkov, being the captain that Gabriel Landeskog is? There's room to debate it, but I think it's unanimously praised that Gabriel Landeskog is the best captain. Not best in terms of player, but best in terms of being a leader on your team.
I think it's really important where Gabriel Landeskog is concerned that there is the mindset that they are going into this with is very much so. We're trying not to manage him as much as possible. We don't want to play a game where he's sitting multiple games in a row just for the sake of rest. We are going into this with he is healthy, he is ready to play, and if he needs to be managed through games, that's something he will communicate to us, just as any player would if they're feeling injured or rough or bruised up. I think that's really important to note. Mm-hmm. So I am going to, though. Yes, you can go ahead and unmute it. With the start in net for the Avalanche this season, or at least for this first game, Darcy Kemper starting on the other side of the ice, and the puck has officially been dropped for the first game of the season for the Colorado Avalanche. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us and watching today's game. I am going to try to go ahead and get a score.
These chrome domes. Oh, 1 minute into the NHL season, McKinnon already has 1 hit.
Oh, gosh.
God, these Chrome Domes are just terrible. But yeah, that's what makes both of them likable, Connor. I just, I've talked to a lot of people who love hockey, who watch hockey, and everyone says that Gabriel Landeskog is the #1 captain. Not taking anything away from Barkov at all, but that's also my captain right there. That's my captain. Except he doesn't look as intimidating without the beard. I think he should have the beard year round.
Who?
Gabriel Landeskog.
I don't like the beard.
I
Not a huge fan of it.
think he looks menacing with the beard.
That's
Also,
an opinion.
also the big person who kind of is like who's on fraud watch, I'll call it, is Brock Nelson with $7.5 million.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, he's on fraud watch. If there was a player for that,
is that going to be our newest segment for the Avalanche morning?
I mean, it could be. You never know.
No, I will say when it came time for that deal to get signed, and you see it happen, I think that maybe wouldn't have been like the highest point where I'm like, okay, that's too much money. I do think it's a lot of. This is absolutely a kind of like, let's prove that you can be a long-term viable player here.
If that was Georgiev from last year, that's going in.
That's something to talk about as well. Alexander Georgiev on waivers.
Already by the Sabres?
Yeah.
Well, he's meant for the KHL. His NHL days are over.
I didn't think he was going to have another season in the NHL, and
not to
toot my own horn here.
There's teams that want to suck, and unfortunately for him, the San Jose Sharks are one of them, and they didn't want to keep him.
Oh gosh, our friends over at Sarcastic Remarks with a bit of a jab. I can appreciate it.
It's okay.
Friendly rivalry here.
It's okay. We all know you love third round exits.
Oh my gosh, great. Wishing you guys the best all this season with your coverage.
I mean, I'd love to say there's no bad blood, but honestly, last year is still
this. I'm. Oh yeah, Connor.
Bailey knows which player I hate. Care to guess? It's got to be Samuel Girard. There's no way it's not.
No, I think he's asking which player he hates, not the one you hate.
No, I know he's got to hate that. How is that not a trip on Natchez? What the hell? It's got to be Samuel Girard. That's like Avalanche public enemy #1.
Something else to keep in mind as well. I'm thankful that the Avs just posted about it. Sam Malinsky, 100 games in the NHL.
I mean, for being an undrafted guy, that's good. Yeah, but we didn't. Yeah, but the thing is that the Avalanche didn't trade to the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes, in of itself, made the Stars a better team than they were, which is such a Hurricanes thing to do. Oh, but it's okay. You don't have a cup in this century. It's fine.
I love this so much.
Just remember, he won a cup here first.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Josh Manson. Oh yeah, I can see that.
I see, and this is where I remember disagreeing with you, Connor. He's a fantastic person, and I think just the kind of gritty player the Avs need, and I think are missing more of.
Gritty, I don't know. Physical, I totally agree, because everyone I say this to, the Avalanche are too small on D during the playoffs. That's one thing the Stars do have right. I'll give you that. Is that they're big on D.
Praise for the Stars.
They're big on D,
Whoa.
and you need your D to be big. Lane Hutson's not doing it in the Atlantic when you have teams like the Panthers and Lightning and Leafs now, who the Leafs are just trying to be as big as humanly possible because they know that everything is going to go wayward.
I love this point.
I mean, but the thing was that Valerie Nichushkin was not an elite top 6 guy. He was kind of like a 4th line guy and then became the top 6 guy. So I don't that's like saying you missed out on Barca or I don't know, someone low. Malinsky's great. He's just he's still new. He's still green. He's still green.
Malinsky's biggest issue is not himself as a player, but for what's looking to be his second full season in the NHL.
Assuming he can do it.
Assuming he can do it, and I'm getting there. Thank you. Being placed into this like big responsibility role of playing your offside, I think it not only shows the amount of respect that the organization has for him as a player and his capabilities. It'll be interesting to watch him kind of prove himself on that offside.
I mean, fingers crossed that Samuel Girard is gone, so at least Malinsky could be on the second D there.
Mm-hmm.
In case I shouldn't say this. I know people don't watch our podcast all that much. Malinsky
just listen.
Listen.
We're not on YouTube yet.
We'll be there soon. But I do not like Samuel Girard. I think he is at the end of his usefulness for the Colorado Avalanche. I think he'd be great on other teams. I don't like him on this team. What do you say? He was Oh, are you a Canuck? Connor has to be a Canucks fan because he was talking about Kale versus Hughes round 3. And Hughes is an elite defenseman. Don't get me wrong, but he's not on Kale's level. Blackwood's supposed to be mid-November, early November.
So Blackwood, the hope is that he'll be ready for the first week or two into the season.
Yeah, I don't. Just be ready. Just be healthy. I don't really care about anything else, honestly.
Your brothers are going crazy in this group chat, by the way. I hope you know.
Doc Emmerts.
Already looking at 14:05 left in the first period. LA currently leading in shots by a whopping 2-1. Not a whole lot happening so far. It's definitely a bit of a slow start here. Little bit of physicality, not too much to look at here so far.
Yeah, Connor, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your I'm sorry for your last few years. That's pretty tough. because this is a big year for the Canucks. If they don't do anything this year, Quinn Hughes is gone. And he's going to the Devils.
Do you really think
everybody
trio is imminent?
Oh, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that the Canucks are in a dangerous spot with Quinn Hughes leaving. Like, it's not even close. Like, if they don't make it competitive to the playoffs, Quinn Hughes is gone. He doesn't want to play on a crappy team anymore. Sorry.
Evan Brindley already moving really well.
And Elias Pettersson is not your answer to that team. Nor is Philip Hedl or Evander Kane. The Canucks, they're just struggling. You don't think Quinn's going anywhere? Quinn is definitely going. Quinn is definitely leaving if that team cannot show that they're a serious playoff team,
if
not
Quinn
contender.
Hughes leaves, it's not for lack of trying to get something done from the Vancouver Canucks. I will say that.
Look at that back check from McKinnon. You don't see that every day. It's the beginning of the season.
Oh, goodness.
See, this is where Nichushkin works better there. Nichushkin's got more speed to move around the outside. Lekkonen's kind of just gliding into it, which is fine because he's holding puck retention, but he's not great.
Mm-hmm. Wedgwood already showing a lot of competency here. There's a lot of chatter about whether he is a capable starter
for
this team. Not Kempe, Wedgwood. Well, that he's a capable starter while Blackwood's out.
He's not, but he's a guy who it's not like he's going to be. It's not going to be like. It's not going to be like he's going to be doing this the whole season. Once Blackwood gets back, Wedgwood will be sat for a couple weeks at the minimum. Is
that your hot take prediction?
It's not a hot take prediction because they're gonna need Wedgwood to carry the load here with a very strong October, who they're facing. And then you're not gonna have your backup playing that much.
Do want to point out for anybody who may not had noticed through the first almost 10 minutes of the game. Going through some lines, we already talked about that Lekanen, McKinnon, Netchest line. Got a Landeskog, Nelson, Nichushkin, second line, Colton, Drury, Olafson on that third, and Kiviranta, Kelly, and Brinley on that fourth line. As far as the blue line goes, we already talked about Taves and Makar. The bottom four is where it starts to get a little interesting, and we kind of saw an iteration of this during camp and practice leading into tonight's opening night. Girard and Burns on that second pair, and Malinsky and Manson on that third.
I mean, Manson and Girard had not proven that they were very, very. They were losing their chemistry together. So I think it's better that they switch things up. I think Burns is more than capable of taking the load, especially since Manson has been so injury prone in recent years.
Mhm.
Wyatt Johnson looking pretty good though. Yeah.
Wyatt Johnson scares me.
Oh yeah, for an 80-point guy. Oh,
Yeah.
don't even come at me with Maverick Bork. That guy's a third line wing at best.
I do want to point this out, and I reached out to do a season preview with Sarcastic Remarks earlier in the summer, and fortunately, with schedules just being as busy as they were, I sucked at responding. We definitely need to get something done heading into the upcoming schedule against the Stars. I'd love to talk about those question marks.
I mean, I don't know why Stars fans are so hot on Wyatt Johnston when you have Jason Robertson right there. Because Robo is gonna have to go at some point. And I'd rather have Robo than Johnston. I mean, yeah, Johnston's a center, Robo's a winger, but Robo's ability to score, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the argument that Stars fans make, but man, I love Robo for that. If I would love Robo on the Avalanche. That is a good
Is that like
winger.
your dream Avalanche player currently?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Crosby to the Avalanche. I want that. Avalanche.
Okay, yeah,
I want
but that's such an easy answer.
I want that Crosby jersey so badly.
That's such an easy answer.
I think if I were to actually give my all-time, like, this is the guy who I would want on the Avs, I think it would probably be, oh man, it'd probably be Braden Point. That guy would fit in the Avalanche. That guy would fit in the Avalanche extremely well.
I will agree here with Sarcastic Remarks. In my short time talking with Wyatt Johnson, he is very well spoken. Especially for a younger guy, a guy who is slated. I mean, obviously with his huge contract he just signed. There's a lot of good things coming out of Wyatt Johnson for the future of the Stars team.
Yeah, I'd rather have Robo.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Robo as that and Mikko Rantanen take the captaincy.
Oh,
actually, no. Hey,
really?
Heiskanen should totally get the captaincy. This isn't even a debate. Heiskanen is criminally underrated. Like, everybody wants to say that Quinn Hughes is the second best D-man in the league. It's Heiskanen. Sorry. Quinn Hughes is elite offensively, but defensively, that guy is not as good as Heiskanen. I'd rather have Heiskanen. I love. Honestly, that might be the guy. I would want Heiskanen on the Colorado Avalanche.
His answer changes every other day.
You should take a shot every time I say I don't like Samuel Girard, Zach. You would be drunk within like 2 minutes on every single one of our podcasts.
Oh God!
Like it wouldn't even be close.
All I'm saying is there's gonna be time to talk about the Stars here coming up soon.
That's not great.
Do want to kind of get back into this game. LA still leading in shot 5.
Oh, you could have gotten anybody in the NHL for Mikko Rantanen, and you got Martin Necas.
You were such a hater.
You got Martin.
You were such a hater.
You could have had Mitch Marner. You could have had Mitch Marner.
I don't think Mitch Marner wanted to come to Colorado. Hate to burst that bubble. Oh, what a great turnover. Gavin Brinley with a chance through the middle. I love this kid.
Yeah, but wasn't Robo injured throughout the entirety of last year's playoffs, and Wyatt Johnston wasn't? That you
I
got
can't show that on stream, but that's amazing.
that's got it family friendly adjacent. Not no.
Anyway,
Can you delete
let's
that?
let's kind of focus back on here. Gavin Brindley again, a breakout into this roster. Not a guarantee for the entire season.
No, he's barely a guarantee for tonight.
Well, no, but I mean he's here, and with I think you look at a player like this, he's got such a great vision of the ice. His hustle is incredible. He moves very, very well, especially through the neutral zone and ozone. I mean, I remember specifically looking at him during a practice, and he's sitting there taking down a guy that is 6'2"
Yeah, but
and laying him on the ice. Gavin Brindley, if I'm not mistaken, 5'9".
Yeah, but Brad Marchand does the same thing. Brad Marchand
But
is
that's what I'm saying. Is that the comp? Is that
No,
the comp
no,
for Gavin
no.
Brindley in your eyes?
no. Brad Marchand is in a league of his own. He's got to start. He's got to start submarining people. Gavin Brindley, if he wants to be like him. Honestly, Adam Foote, I don't really know all that much about. I think it's a step in the. I don't know. I thought Rick Tocchet was a great coach. Honestly, I mean, to take the Vancouver team from what they were and make them to what they became in 23-24 was pretty great. Last season, I completely blame on Elias Pettersson. Regardless of how you're feeling emotionally in the locker room, dude, you got to perform. Like that might be one of the worst seasons I've seen, other than Huberdeau, and that's not a compliment. Like Huberdeau did almost as well as Elias Pettersson, and Elias Pettersson still had the full team that he did. That's pretty good,
All righty, here getting into the bottom half of the first period, stoppage at 8:51. Avs very wishy-washy so far through almost, or I guess 11 here, just over 11. Would like to see them get more quality shots off, or maybe just shots, period. Don't think their movement is as good as I don't know.
They're still, the unfortunate thing with the Avalanche is that, for Bednar to play the way he wants them to, they need to have more time under their belt.
This is very much so at least so far, first game in the regular season type play so far.
I still think he's got wrong people in wrong positions, but I don't think we're going to see any differences.
Right. I mean, you've seen him pull things into gear in second and third periods with moving people around. There's a chance we could see some shuffling heading into period 2. He's not called Jared Blendnar for nothing.
Yeah,
I will say. Yeah, so far, again, just a very slow period, especially from the Avalanche. Kings are doing a very good job at reading pucks, especially through the neutral zone.
Yeah, but that's where their bread and butter is.
Yeah. I'm not saying it isn't.
That's where their bread and homemade butter is, baby.
Homemade butter? This is LA. Calm down.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's LA.
It's got to be vegan, gluten-free. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just personally, I like gluten in my bread.
Oh God, I was gonna make a joke. I think I might curb my tongue here. ESPN broadcast is
Did you see they interviewed Nick Foligno in the middle of the game? That was the worst. They interviewed Nick Foligno in the middle of the Blackhawks Panthers game. I didn't like that. Stop interviewing players. You have the intermission. If anything, get them during the intermission. I don't like
am of the mindset that you should not be interviewing anybody on the bench during the game. If there is a moving clock and time still on the clock for a period, there should not be a microphone with a reporter holding it anywhere near the bench.
There shouldn't be.
There's a reason. Like these players, Nathan McKinnon is the first one to come to mind.
Blandamore. I like Blandamore. Hurricanes won't win
You're
without
horrible.
him.
You
Hurricanes
are horrible.
won't win with him at the helm, unfortunately.
You are horrible.
Blandamore.
No, Nathan
I'm
McKinnon
gonna
is one
start
of
calling him that.
you. Stop.
Blandamore. Hey, look at Blandamore.
Stop. No, but with Nathan McKinnon is one of the main ones to come to mind who, when game time comes around, he is very much so in the zone. He's like other players where he kind of has a routine and he follows it to a T. And once he's in the zone for a game, nothing's going to break him out of that. And he is very rigorous and zoned in. I imagine that that's how coaches want to be as well. They're trying to focus on the game and coach their teams. And there should be nothing getting in the way of that. If you want to interview a coach, if you want to interview a player, that's what intermissions are for. I understand you have a job to do, and it's just it grinds my gears so
we
much
literally
that they're
built
interrupting the period.
We literally built in an 18-minute intermission for everything social to happen. That's the thing that gets me. It's not like it's soccer where you only get 15 minutes and at the break. Wow, Miko wow, Nichushkin. I could hit that harder. Jeez Louise. Nichushkin, I don't want to say anything, unfamily friendly, but do we need to get you something here, buddy? Jeez Louise.
Landeskog with a great little rush to the net.
I kind of forgot Byfield's 6'5".
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah, a little bit of a kerfuffle in front of the LA net. I don't know. That's smart coming from Landeskog. And again, coming from a guy who has not played a regular season game in over 1,300 days, this is impressive movement from the captain.
He's looking great so far. It's just going to be nice when we don't have to be. That's not the main headline you see with Gabriel Landeskog. More about his actual play and his captaincy.
When he was asked about regular season and getting to play in his first regular season game during practice yesterday.
There's a war going on in the chat.
Right? I know. When he was asked about playing in his first regular season game at practice yesterday, he said he was more nervous to start training camp than he thinks he felt nervous for this, which I thought was very interesting.
Well, because one of the that was not offside, ref. I'm sorry. I didn't realize didn't realize the blind zebras were already in effect this season.
All right, cool it.
By the way, the Carolina Hurricanes are in an easy division there, Zach. They're not playing in the Atlantic or the Central.
I will say this year's Metro Division is not the Metro Division.
That's why they call it the Metropolitan.
Metropolitan.
Yeah, that's the nickname that it's going on because we already know the three teams that are going to be in there.
Oh God, here we go.
Back
to the game.
Brindley just took that face off.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Avalanche could always use guys who are on a
We used to have a winger.
Level.
We used to have a winger that took face-offs until our management were, morons.
Hey.
And we, took mid-teen niches.
Calm down here, you. It looked like Brent Burns maybe wanted a call behind the red
Zach,
line.
why did you just jinxed us?
No, that's what he's
just jinxed us.
That's what Locked On Avalanche said too.
Yeah, they're forgetting that there's the
season
Oilers
predictions.
They're forgetting the Oilers and the Stars are in the same division.
Yeah, it's a tough division.
I mean, let's not sugarcoat it here. The Avalanche have to overcome they have to overcome the Dallas Stars. If they do overcome the Dallas Stars, they could probably beat anybody in the West.
He is a little fellow.
Thank God
that is what the
ESPN
ESPN
in here for me to say that. I don't want him hearing that.
He's a little
Is he on
fellow. That is what
THPN
the
network?
yes, he is.
Okay.
He is a little fellow. That is what the reporter or
That was
the
great. That was a
commentator
great
just had to
pass.
say about Gavin Brindley. Not that it's not true. That's a great read in the neutral zone by Drury.
Great back check too. As with the President's Trophy.
Now we're screwed.
Well,
there you go.
Now you're just being unrealistic.
No, but he's
the Avalanche
undoing
are not winning the President's Trophy. We all know the Avalanche suffered too many regular season injuries to do anything during the regular season again. I mean, they might.
The President's Trophy.
They could win the division, maybe air, but like they're not. They're
Oilers
not
in the Central since when?
No, I meant conference.
Oh, I meant
conference.
I see.
You know, if the Avalanche can overcome the Stars, there's nobody they can't beat. Maybe the Oilers, since McDavid just took the greatest pay cut I've ever seen out of an athlete.
Contract was ridiculous. You know, we talked a little bit about it. Hello?
Right, Ed.
No. Want to save this conversation for intermission, but we had a conversation about Kirill Kaprizov and how much that might affect the Netch's contract moving into what is now a contract year this year. I'm interested to kind of chat about how and please leave thoughts in the comments as well about, you know, how much a Kirill Kaprizov contract might affect a Netch's contract, but also how much this McDavid deal might affect numbers moving into this upcoming season. I guess while we've got a stoppage, let's go ahead and talk about it.
I mean, the bigger one is McDavid because Martin Necas is not the franchise guy of any team that he's played for. And he's trying to, at least it seems like he's trying to win a cup. So if you're thinking along those lines, I think you would have to expect that Martin Necas maybe doesn't, you know, sign for what he could sign. Maybe, I'm not saying take a massive pay cut like McDavid, but if he's asking for 11, maybe taking 10.2, but doing it as a bridge deal. Because I see them doing that with Makar, seeing as their window is still open right now, and they almost do like a Shohei Ohtani type of contract, where they give him quite a bit of money, like for the few seasons that they're trying to contend, and then later they give him a lot more money as kind of like debt paid, essentially, for taking a lower salary during his years where they're trying to win a cup. The problem with the goalie situation for Edmonton is there's no goalies left that you want to get anymore. Everybody who's out there has already been got.
That market is skinny. That market is not a very large one when it comes to goalies in the NHL right now.
I can't think of any goalie other than Bobrovsky whose contract ends this year, who you would go out to spend the big bucks on.
He's going to be like the biggest one. And after that, I can't see a contract coming anywhere close to what Bob's going to command.
Yeah, but Bob's also 38. He's going to be 38 at the end of the season.
He's not going to get a long-term deal.
Yeah, but you wouldn't sign Bobrovsky. As great as Bobrovsky is, you're not going to sign him to anything over $8 million. If you have your wits about you and you're trying to contend, you would not sign him over $8 million for anything.
See,
if you're the San Jose Sharks, you give him that money, essentially saying, we want you to, you know, prepare Askarov for the future. Or if you're the Ducks, you say, I want you to prepare Dostal for the future.
Yaroslav Askarov is such a good goaltending prospect.
He's still yet to be proven if he's good or not. He's not. I would not put him in a great category. I mean, he is on the Sharks.
He's kind of on the same level for me as far as goaltending prospects go as Artur Shilov's.
What?
Shelovs was very well proven in the AHL playoffs last year.
One season one season makes a great story, but it doesn't make a career.
I'd love to see. I'm excited to see more out of him this season, but I think he's proven that he can keep up at least through one season.
Hey Burns, we don't throw the puck down the ice. This isn't Carolina.
Hey,
we actually
we're
move
still things are adjusting.
We move
Give
the
him
puck,
time.
Burnsy.
Even
Please don't do that.
you know, Bednar mentioned that in the presser following morning skate this morning. That the biggest problem that you're working on with Burns is getting him to adjust to the system. He's a 22-year veteran. He knows how to play the game. It's just a matter of playing the style that the Avalanche are used to playing, and that's going to take time.
Yeah, but he's used
old
to playing
habits die hard.
He's used to playing an analytical game, not an actual offensive game.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is old habits die hard, and that's going to be a hard habit to break, I think, for Burns, who's spent a lot of time playing a game that is very unlike how the Avs play.
He split time with Lankinen in those playoffs, though, because Lankinen got injured. Then Shelovs finished out that series against the Preds and the Oilers.
Yeah.
I mean, one season is great. Anybody can be a one-hit wonder.
Let's get back towards the game here. Puck's been moving for a little bit. Shots are tied at 6 with 3:28 left to go in the first period, is at least where our broadcast is at on ESPN. Still no score, still at donuts here in crypto.com arena. Avs got the puck here moving through the zone. Gavin Brindley with it along the boards.
You're a sucker for a prospect, you know.
I am. I started off with the Colorado Eagles. What do you expect from me, Grant?
You're an absolute sucker for a prospect. As Steve Dangle would say, you love magic beans.
That's a great quote. I love it. No, I'm not going to get into that. Actually, that's more of a intermission talk. You do love your Steve Dangle.
I do love Steve Dangle. Can we get him?
Kings.
How much is his appearance fee?
Probably a lot. Kings playing a very heavy forecheck here right now. Avs are finally able to get it through.
They've instituted the park the bus mentality. Oh, yeah, Mance. Oh, dear Lord. Look at that back check from McKinnon. Are you going to see that for the rest of the year? I don't think so.
That's something I'd love to see more of from McKinnon. Good Lord.
Hey, Natchez, can you move up the ice, please? Thank you. Aren't you supposed to be like top 5 in like speed bursts over 24 miles an hour?
Is that Sam Walensky back on the right side?
He is on the right side, yeah.
Oh, gosh. The question has to be asked here eventually.
Oh, my Lord. Manson just flagged him.
Lord, Josh Manson, happy birthday.
Hey, Warren Fogle, take your seat on the bench there, bud. Get the snow out of your hair. Oh, is that Drew Doughty? Who is that? Oh, that's Malott. I don't think Manson's still supposed to be fighting with his broken wrist.
There you go, Mance. There you go. That'll get some fire under their butts.
That was a textbook backward skating across, shoulder right into the body. Ooh, Malott might be hurt here.
No, they're still trying to pull him apart. Malott wanted to get more. Oh, he's not happy.
Hey, buddy, you're
not a happy camper. See, this is what you like to see. For anybody maybe not watching, Gabriel Landeskog chasing after Lamont in the ref after Lamont gets shuffled.
Malott.
I said Malott.
You said Lamont.
Oh, I'm sorry, Malott. As he gets shuffled down the King's tunnel.
Kaboom!
Oh, that's a great shoulder hit.
Hey, buddy.
Shoulder check by Josh Manson. But that's what you want to see from your captain, and that's something the Avs have very severely been missing, is a guy to sit there and kind of put it to a guy after the whistle's blown, after everybody's pulled apart. The guy that you want kind of standing up for your other guys. All right. 5-minute fighting penalties coming up here.
I think they gave a 2-minute roughing from a lot.
Let's
I
take a
think
look at this here.
Oh yeah, did they give these?
Yep. Oh no, they gave an unsportsmanlike to Malott.
The Kings play the Golden Knights tomorrow? Jeez Louise. Flames versus man, tomorrow has got some dead games, except for Habs Maple Leafs. That's pretty good.
All right, looking at a Colorado power play here coming up. Both players, 5 for fightings. Colorado gets the upper hand here as Malott gets 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. So
ESPN might be the worst people for the NHL, you know.
thank you so much. No, but heading into here with 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining on the first period, we get the first regular season iteration of the power play. A first look here. If the preseason is anything to go by,
I don't like Nelson on the draw. I don't like that one bit. But then again, Natchez and Mac aren't really known for their face-off ability.
my hopes are not high here. I wish I had better thoughts about the power play here, but given what we saw during the preseason,
God,
again, it's you're not getting a full unit, look at a full unit, or at least what would be a full unit during the regular season. But with the way things were run during the preseason, I was not a fan. The penalty kill, however.
Oh, Nelson, you've got to tip that in, my guy. Oh, for God's sake. You've got nobody in front of the net. You've got to be doing more with that.
Here we go.
Oh. Are we going to try the quarterback?
No.
I would have liked his cap.
Long gone. Long gone.
Oh, what a play by Lecky. No! No! You did not just call that. You did not just call. Dear Lord. Oh, boy.
Not much time to work with on the power play, but with a stoppage at 29.8 seconds to go in the first period. 57 seconds remains on the Colorado power play. So they're going to get just a few seconds of time or of a couple looks heading into fresh ice during the second period. Colorado now currently leading in shots at 7.
So Landeskog just took the draw. I love that. There's no taser out on that. There's no taser out there. It's just Brent Burns. There's no taser. It's Colton, Landeskog, Burns, Nichushkin, and Olofsson. I like that. I don't agree with it, but I like it.
I will say when they were running their lines at practice, both Colton and Taves were wearing second unit jerseys and they were kind of switching out. I do like to see I do like to see them using the second iteration of the second unit. Heading into
Manson gets a medal. Manson gets a medal for being the only guy who wants to hit on this team. That's what he gets a medal for. TJ Oshie on the panel was a lot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Speaking of your favorite player ever, and Brad Marchand, he's already complimented having a prettier face on the panel here. Heading into the first intermission, just some brief thoughts before we take a quick break. Not a lot to look at here. A little bit slow moving for this team. I think things kind of started to pick up, especially in the last 5-10 minutes there. That Josh Manson hit and fight, I think, had a little bit to do with some of that energy. But overall, it's not the worst start they could have. They could be down a couple goals. So there's that. With that said, I think there's a lot to improve on. More crisp passes. I'd like to see a lot of times we talk about a quality versus quantity argument when it comes to shots. I'd like to see more quantity out of that. Stay focused. Stay focused. I think I would like to see more quantity when it comes to shots here. I think that's one thing they're missing. There's something to be said about making shots and plays that are a little too pretty. I think this is a big case of first game-itis, first period-itis.
I
Um,
mean, you know, I think I think when you're going up against the Los Angeles Kings, who are extremely defensively minded, you're not really you're not gonna get the chances like you would against like an Oilers where you're kind of going back and forth with the team. But I think it is rust. Everybody's got to get used to it. It's the first game of the season. I mean, the Panthers almost lost to the Blackhawks.
that's
That is,
NHL hockey for you, baby.
I mean, Doc Emmerich being overrated. That is like the worst take I've ever heard.
Oh my gosh! Everybody meet Grant's brother.
That's just terrible.
Oh gosh, this
That's
is
terrible.
all that was happening in the group chat, by the way.
I mean, honestly, that's a worse take than like saying, like 2% milk is better than whole milk. I mean, like this is like we're not even in the same ballpark here, Quinn.
All right, guys, we are gonna take a quick break here. Go take care of some things off camera. Zeros heading into the second period. During first intermission, we will be right back.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
And we are back. Still some time left in the intermission here. I'm gonna go ahead and mute this so I don't get super distracted. So in looking at this period, we did kind of like a brief overall thoughts. Want to go into some stats leading up after the first period. Let me pull up my summary here so far. No, it's not the one I want. Alrighty. As far as shots go, still zeros. Again, ended the period with zeros on the board. Shots currently tied at 7 apiece. Yeah, it's not a whole lot going on here. Avs will have just a few seconds of a power play heading into the second period. Overall thoughts on that first power play, or at least what we've seen from it so far. I know it's a very small sample size to go off of here. Is that the extent of your thoughts?
Pretty much. I mean, there's nothing to say about that other than thank you, Nelson, for not being aware of where you are on the ice and knowing that you didn't have literally anybody around. You were in the front of the net, untouched. Mm-hmm. You have to do more with that. Yeah. And I'm not expecting him to be, amazing, but this is how the construction of the power play is not where it needs to be. Nichushkin or Landeskog works far better down there, or I mean, you're gonna have the staple of Mac, Makar, and Natchez all in the top power play. Now you need to learn what you're gonna figure out with all of it. I think you have to find two others. I think Olofsson should be there, and I think Nichushkin should be there. Nichushkin is very good near the net, and Olofsson has a good shot on him, what he was touted for when he was playing with the Sabres, and then with the Vegas Golden Knights when people got a better look at him because the Sabres are, not going to go places anywhere soon. But,
I think that's putting it nicely.
And Nelson being on the second power play isn't a knock on him.
Mm-mm.
In fact, it might be better for him.
There's the thought too, and I think the hope, and I think hope is a fickle thing to have, especially when looking at what you want the Colorado Avalanche to do. But there's the idea that with a lot more talent spread through these two units, that you deploy them in equal. Now, obviously, there's going to be more heavy reliance on that first unit with it having a McKinnon, Netchus, Makar trio. But you've got similar talent on the power play sitting on that second line. Victor Olofsson was the one that I kind of named before the start of the game. You look at a Gabriel Landeskog, who is known for his net front presence. I want to kind of get your thoughts on, that ability to deploy them in equal and not so much heavily relying on that first power play unit like you saw Bednar doing last season.
It's just hard because Mac is one of those people who wants the game on his stick. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to argue with him why he shouldn't have it on his stick. It's just, it becomes difficult because the second power play unit, they don't, as much as they do in practice, they don't get a lot of game time, and practice is practice and game time is something totally different. And they're just, it's hard to say on that second power play, like, we're going to give you guys the faith. And it's kind of hard to tell McKinnon, at least at this point in his career, that, hey, buddy, we're going to need you to kind of split some time here. We don't need you in there the whole time. Mm-hmm. I was hearing that the Stars were doing something where they were going to utilize Mikko on both power play units. You didn't hear about that? No. Yeah. There were reports out of people that Mikko was going to be used on both power play units for the Stars. Like they were going to have him kind of bridge it a little bit.
That's insane.
No, we ain't talking about the game. We talking about practice.
Oh God, here we go. Grant and his brothers.
Only real like sports fans, like from like, a lot of the new gen kids will not understand where that's from.
Nope.
Because we ain't talking about the game. We talking about practice, man.
Anyway, getting back.
I do feel bad though.
Play conversation.
I do feel bad though. There's probably people for the Kings side listening to this, probably wanting us to talk more about them. I'm sorry, Kings fans. I just don't know enough about your team. I know a little bit, but not enough to kind of put my stamp of approval on anything.
Yeah, I think
Ovi's really on both. I didn't know that. I didn't know Ovi was on both. I know McDavid was, because McDavid is the greatest NHL player. Maybe in history, skill-wise, never achievement or accomplishments or statistically.
I don't know. When it comes to the Avalanche, I think there's something to be said about a lot of pressure being put, especially on the top six, on that forward core, and then both in Taves and Makar. And if you can find a way to decrease minutes for any of those guys, you take it.
I mean, especially with the Olympics coming up, yeah.
Especially with the Olympics,
the biggest.
So I don't think the Avalanche would be able to do something like, not that we were ever talking about the Avalanche doing something like that, but in saying hypothetically, like
it's an option. It's an option for sure.
I don't think there's any guy on this roster that I could look at and say, I want you to double shift the power play.
I would absolutely say McKinnon on that.
No.
I would absolutely say McKinnon.
Because if you can get other guys to eat those minutes, especially with McKinnon being such a favored guy in the Olympics.
Who cares? He's Nathan McKinnon. That dude will do anything to win. That dude
because he will do anything doesn't mean that I want him to tire himself out. that way. Like again, there's a conversation to be had about
that dude does not tire
Cale
out.
Makar.
That dude after this game will be on the bike for 30 minutes after the game.
Yeah, that's
that dude
just
is that dude
trainers.
like that guy. There's a reason why McKinnon's a hard person to follow as like being a leader. It's because not a lot of players are willing to go to what he was going to.
Let's get rid of this for a little bit.
My brother just said, "F you, I'm not that old."
Mm-hmm.
We're all getting there, Quinn. We're all getting there.
Oh, good grief. So yeah, power play not looking super exciting right now. Not a lot to look at.
Well,
I think it's a little more difficult to get a read on it too when you're splitting the power play up like that.
I mean, the kiss of death for a power play is having it 2 minutes, 2 minutes less in a period.
Which there's something to be said about more of the power play being had in the following period than being played in the previous.
I don't think so.
Having a fresh sheet of ice to play on.
I don't think so. I think anytime your fluidity is disrupted, you're not going to be as sharp.
Oh goodness. All right, we are getting back into puck drop. I know that was time for that. Second period.
I will say, if there are any LA Kings fans in here, because we do want to be somewhat fair and not talk about the Avalanche the whole time. We wish someone for the LA Kings on our network were here, but they got their own lives and they're busy as well. But you're
getting diplomatic here.
Are LA Kings fans like excited about the direction of the team? Because you have Quentin Byfield, who, don't get me wrong, is very good, but there's not a lot waiting in the wings other than really Brent Clark, and Brent Clark is here. So if there's anybody who's an LA Kings fan, I'd be interested to hear it.
I really did not like that starting play from Nelson.
Well, Nate just can't hold on to the puck for some reason.
No, it's not just that, but you got a puck in open ice, and Nelson's more worried about sticking to his man than trying to regain possession.
I love that setup. Yes! Yes!
Oh!
Nate just almost fell. Nevada almost fell. Almost fell after scoring
Martin
that goal.
Necas with the first goal of the season for the Colorado Avalanche. That entire rush was beautiful.
You know what the funny thing is? That reminds me of so much of last year's first goal for the Avalanche, where McKinnon went around the net, found Mikko not between the dots, but near the other dot. Mm-hmm. And slotted it, same spot too. Yeah. I think short side.
Oh yeah.
He almost fell. I told you.
I love it.
Nevada doesn't know how to stay.
That's a great find from Nathan McKinnon.
Nevada doesn't know how to stay on
I love that he's pulling two different defenders toward him too to cover that potential wraparound situation, leaving Martin Necas wide open on the right side. It's a beautiful goal to start off the season here, guys. 1-0 very early on in the second period. Little graphic that's coming up here. 37 power play points last season for Martin Necas. Tied for third in the league, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what the graphic just said, which is impressive in and of itself for a guy who's last year was his first season being among the big dogs in the forwards as far as standings go.
For Necas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you better be. You were traded with Mikko.
No, that's early on. That's early on in the season.
Okay, so Zach, you got to pull up the comment. So Necas is called Nevada because me and my brothers were watching the Avalanche all last season after Mikko had been traded, and there was so much confusion about how to say his name. There was Necas, Nekash, Necas,
Nekash from Bednar.
And then we were just like, we should just call him Nevada, and that was honestly, that's where it started. That's where it started. But I also like to call him the guy. For some reason, he can't stay on his skates whatsoever.
Well, not just you and your brothers all give him crap.
I mean, if you see Necas, I mean that dude falls down more than more than certain
The
individuals.
London Bridge. Yeah, something I mean, Zach, there's a lot of inside jokes that I need to tell you about between Grant and his brothers. I have a whole laundry list of things that I've witnessed over
A
the
laundry
years.
list wouldn't cut it, honey. You need a grocery list.
Oh gosh, I don't know if a grocery list is long enough for that either. I need like a whole scroll.
We're fun. We're fun.
It's a fun group.
If anyone wants one of the brothers to get on here, just
They're
put it in the
lurking, or at
comments.
least one of them is lurking.
Just put it in the comments.
Everybody call Quinn Foster into the chat. Got another chance.
So-
Puck goes up into the netting.
So let's talk about another person that you have a certain affinity for, being from North Carolina and being a former Hurricane, Jack Drury, who does have some pretty good. He does have some pretty great line mates in both Olofsson and Colton.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think the thing I'd like to see from Jack Drury, or even Colton for that matter, is being more of a playmaker, because Colton's really great on the forecheck and Jack Drury's really good on the faceoffs. I would love it if Jack Drury were to develop more of a playmaking strategy, because Olofsson is great, I believe, and I think if he's just got the guy to get him there and it's not grinding along the boards in every shift, that could be a pretty good third line. And that would help a lot of Avalanche fans be like, well, the third line center question is kind of being solved.
I think that's the expectation for Drury heading into the season, especially being given so much responsibility on that third line. He's a player Bednar called yesterday an elite fourth line center who they think can take that push into more offensive territory. He thinks there's a lot more to be gotten out of a guy like Jack Drury. And honestly, not to be an basically Bednar's echo, but I wholeheartedly agree with him here. I think there is a next level to Jack Drury's game that nobody has seen. I think just seeing the way that he moves the puck, he's got affinity for shooting every now and again, but I think he is really his defensive side.
What?
His game on the defensive side of the puck is
Where's Taves?
almost unmatched on this team.
Where's Taves? McCarr's out there with Gerard. Where's Taves?
I don't know. Doesn't look like anybody got off late either. Nobody's.
No, there's no late chain.
I'm not seeing.
Is Taves injured? Oh no,
No, he's
there
out
he
there
is.
now.
Gerard had a late change, of course.
Okay.
That's
No,
That's
I
stupid little
think
Frenchman.
I think Drury's defensive side of the puck is almost unmatched as far as forwards go on this team.
But he doesn't need to be that.
But
we
he
have
does.
We have
in a way.
Ross Colton.
He's a guy who I think people look at as an elite penalty killer on this team, something the Avalanche absolutely could use. And I think you see a little bit of that come to fruition in the preseason. Obviously, you're not seeing like a full iteration of the penalty kill, but you're already seeing what the capabilities are with Jack Drury on the defensive side of the puck, playing that in that penalty kill. I think if you get into a situation where you can encourage a lot more of that playmaking ability, encourage him to make more passes. Try to get him to shoot more. I'd love to see Jack Drury shoot the puck more. Other guy I'd love to see shoot more is Brent Burns. But that's a sneaky little short pass. But no, I'd love to see more passes. I'd love to see more shooting. I'd love to see him push higher up when it comes to offensive rushes or chances. I think the way that he looks at it when he's not worried about winning a faceoff, it's what can I do to make sure this puck is not getting behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a detriment to his game. And you see certain guys who are more willing to take chances like that on the offensive side of the puck. And it works out well for them, especially with the way this team moves in terms of speed and things of that sort.
Does Zach know that Joe Sakic is at?
No, Mac actually moved ahead of him today.
In points?
I'm fairly certain.
Because I'm seeing 1,641 points for Joe
That's the
Sakic.
whole. Hold on. I was actually just talking.
If we're
to
talking about
somebody this
franchise, that
today.
definitely counts because he did a good portion of that with the Nordiques. Since relocate, I mean that's fine and all. I know a lot of people don't like the whole franchise like history takeover thing, but it's a good way to kind of keep the franchises like like memory and it's still relevant.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Good old friend Connor McGahey there with the stat, and I want to read this out to you guys. Something tweeted out before today's game: with a point tonight, Nathan McKinnon will pass Joe Sakic for the most points in Avalanche history. Both players have exactly 1,015 points in exactly 870 games.
Yeah, but
Colorado.
I
Thank you,
don't
Zach,
I don't
for
know if I
bringing
agree.
that up.
I mean, Joe Sakic didn't come over. I mean, Joe Sakic, I think he was drafted in '88 and in '88 and started in '88, and that's 8 full seasons in the Nordiques. Where like that's a lot of games.
That's a lot
of games to kind of be thrown away there. Cody Ceci, every Maple Leafs favorite defenseman. God, do they love to clown that guy.
All right. We're going to talk about the Kings a little bit here, not necessarily about their play, but their dressing room situation on the ice.
The Chrome
These
Domes
helmets.
Look, I
don't have many strong. I have strong opinions about things. Let me rephrase that.
Normally wrong opinions.
Shut up. I have strong opinions about things. Not many that I am normally very adamant about, especially in a podcast or live streaming setting. I despise these helmets. I do not like them at all. These jerseys, insanely cool. I love them, and I love the surprise aspect too. I had somebody text me about that before the game, saying that they were going to debut these as a surprise for the fans. I love that they came out for warm-ups and their home jerseys and were able to surprise their fans coming out for puck drop with these. The Chrome Dome, not just the Chrome Dome, the matte Chrome Dome. I already hated the Chrome Domes. These suck. I'm gonna put that bluntly. These are god.
I think the Canucks matte helmets are probably the best in the NHL, which is sad.
Matte helmets.
Yeah, the black ones. Those are elite. Those are elite.
Oh, see, I like that. See, I don't mind that at all. The silver, the shiny matte,
we haven't given them
which
any
is such
flowers,
a
Hey!
All right, 2-0.
That's Malinsky.
Oh my gosh.
Coming for Samuel Girard's position. Get that bum off the roster.
With as up and down of a season as Sam Malinsky had last year, I think he really started to gear it up towards the end. And I think that's part of the reason you see him given the responsibility of playing his offside here to start the season. He is really making a case for being, a strong part of this roster moving forward.
Well, it's also harder to teach a veteran something new. With Malinsky, he's a little bit younger, and he can kind of grow into the role.
Game 100 and a goal.
I think that's great
for Sam Malinsky.
I think that's great for Sam Malinsky. I mean, I think he had 11 points last year, taken away due to calls alone.
Mm-hmm. Two players that we have on the Avalanche now here that are very unlucky for getting calls taken back for them. And I don't know. Sam Malinsky is one of them. Jack Drury is another who we haven't seen many called back for Drury just because he hasn't taken as many opportunities as he maybe took when he was in Carolina, which kind of almost further proves my point that there is a next level offensive game, I think, that we've yet to see from Jack Drury. But I think Jack Drury is another one of those guys who had maybe 3 or 4 different goals with Carolina for being offside for a goaltender interference.
This game chippy with Manson's line.
Exactly. I'm so sorry to bring it up.
It's okay. I think Hurricanes have a little bit more PTSD.
There's a lot.
There's three letters. There's three letters. I
having-
think every Hurricanes fan somewhat fears. ECF.
Freaking knew it, man.
It's not that they're bad. It's just that I think they have PTSD.
It lives in my head rent free, unfortunately. Do you want to take a second while we're heading into a TV timeout to make sure we are thanking the Hockey Podcast Network for allowing us to be here? Be sure to go give them a follow over at HockeyPodNet on both Instagram and X. If you guys are looking for a show for any of the 32 NHL teams, first I want to plug ours with the Avalanche Warning Podcast, covering your very own Colorado Avalanche. There's a couple Kings podcasts on there as well with some great content you guys need to go check out. But as for the 30 other NHL teams, if you guys are looking for some content across the league, they've got a show for you. Be sure to go check that out. If you're maybe not looking for some specific team content, you're looking for some overall maybe fantasy coverage. I know some of the cast from Shoresy got a podcast on here. I know Grant's been super. He's kind of gotten back into that show recently.
Oh, it's been great getting ready for the season. It's been absolutely. It's been beautiful. You know.
I hear some of the catchphrases from that show in my sleep with how often they do. Yeah, Terry Ryan, thank you, Zach, with Shoresy from the Shoresy cast, having a podcast here with the Hockey Podcast Network. I promise, guys, if you are looking for any sort of content with the Hockey Podcast Network, they have a show for you. So be sure to go check out their website at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com. Check out their shows. If you are interested in starting your own show, you have a passion for hockey and want to share it with the world, be sure to reach out to the Hockey Podcast Network and make your podcasting start here and join us.
I didn't know he played Ted Hitchcock. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say the nickname, but I'm just going to say that. Because Canadian, just the game has been bigger in Canada for a very long time. The U.S. is catching up. They're catching up rapidly with juniors, development camps, and everything because they're learning from the Canadians, but they're not quite there yet. They've got a little bit to go. You know, the ECHL, the AHL, what's it called? The NA3HL. They're just not there in terms of like the plethora of hockey minds. The Malinsky one? The shot from the left.
No, I know.
But we do, because Zach's here promoting us, and it is 12 a.m. on the East Coast. So Zach, 12:05. I can't believe you're still awake, Zach. But props to you. He's with the Surgecast, formerly Bailey's podcast.
Yes, I used to be a co-host with the Surgecast. Good times. But if you guys are looking for some Hurricanes content, be sure to go give him, Kat, and Richie, as well as the Surgecast, to follow over on.
You know what the funny thing is, though, Connor? Hold on, I got to pull up this comment because most of the Canadian teams have USA All Stars. Like the Jets have Kyle Connor and Connor Hellebuck. The Toronto Maple Leafs have Austin Matthews. The Ottawa Senators have Brady Tkachuk, and then they also had Josh Norris for the longest time. The Canucks have Quinn Hughes. The Edmonton Oilers don't really have anybody from the U.S., which is kind of hilarious. The Habs don't really have anybody from the U.S. I don't think Nick Suzuki. Oh no, Cole Caulfield from the U.S. Is Cole Caulfield from the U.S.? Can you fact check me on that? But all the Canadian teams love American players.
Yes.
They all love American players, but the American teams don't love American players. They all love Canadians. Hell, the Flames for the longest time had Matthew Tkachuk and Johnny Gaudreau.
Mm-hmm.
Both
May
American
rest
players.
in peace. By the way, too, not that there's any sort of plug that needs to be had, but if you guys have not watched the newest season of Face Off Inside on Amazon Prime, absolutely worth checking out. I have not watched all of it yet, but I was able to catch the Johnny Gaudreau episode and the Seth Jarvis episode, and both of them were incredible. I thoroughly enjoyed watching them. You should watch those.
I'll get around. I'll watch it at work probably tomorrow.
Yeah, that Johnny Gaudreau episode. It's watching them go through the heartbreaking situation of not making playoffs
This is how the Avalanche give up a goal right here. This is how it happens.
Watching that heartbreaking situation of them trying to make that push for the playoffs last year and falling short all over again was heartbreaking.
Come on, clear the zone.
Avalanche stuck in their own zone. Lost possession time here from the Kings.
The Kings have made a
zone
partial
time
change.
Just hit 1 minute. They're cycling out players. Finally, we're able to clear the zone.
McKinnon on the forecheck. What is this NHL team that I'm watching here?
This is a brand new Nathan McKinnon, guys. I'm telling you.
What's this? Forecheck?
Nathan McKinnon, whatever you ate for breakfast this morning, please do it again on Thursday.
He eats fruits and veggies and Whole Foods.
And chickpea mac and cheese.
Yeah, that dude is wild. Oh, Kiviranta might be hurt there. Oof. That was a hard hit into the goal.
Meredith Gaudreau did present the art.
Kemper's got no stick. He doesn't have a stick. Kemper does. What? Oh, delayed penalty on the Kings. What was it? Didn't see it. No, it was the Sean Vaughn. It was what was it? It was the Bill Masterson. That's right.
Yes, he did not.
I still think Landy should have won it. I
understand.
It took him 3 years to get back to the NHL. I mean,
there is
what
the
more
conversation.
Do you want from that?
There is the conversation to be had, though, of some of these, most if not all of these awards being regular season awards, and if anybody deserved that for a regular season performance and, overcoming adversity in the regular season specifically, that's Sean Monahan.
I guess. Well, I mean, my God.
I think if there's a Bill Masterton trophy to be given out again, I think
it should be Landeskog.
I think Landeskog will be nominated for it again this year.
Because what he had in his documentary, everybody who's played sports at one point or another has had that feeling of dread where you don't that feeling of dread where you don't know your identity.
Connor, Nathan McKinnon didn't scare me as much on media day. I will say that he's a little hard pressed.
He's not scary. He's just intense, and there's nothing.
Yes, I will say that's a good way to put it.
McKinnon is just laser focused on one thing. He's laser focused on his craft, on his game, and
Also, this question is for me.
Athletes don't really love they don't love the media. They really don't. It's something that you have to deal with the job, but more times than not, media is just trying to carry down. I think media gave McKinnon a lot of crap before 2017, before he really started to break out into the NHL. They were calling him a bust for years.
To answer your question, before I was so rudely.
That's okay. So watch the game.
Yeah, I'm not.
Greg Moore truly.
No, to answer your question, Connor, what I mean by a Brandon McKinnon is this is a guy who he even described in a video that literally just launched today that he plays a very choppy game, plays a very heavy offensive game, but he's not much for the defensive side of the puck. And in situations here, you're seeing him play a more defensive game than I saw in a lot of different situations last year. Being a little heavier on the forecheck, playing a decent neutral zone game. I mean, there's a little bit more to be said about McKinnon not necessarily taking on a different role to start the season here, but you're seeing him willing to try more things and being decent at it. As far as media presence goes, and
down low, across.
You're seeing very intense right here. Speaking of intense, McKinnon was a little more laid back during media day today, or not today. towards in just a couple weeks ago. He was not as scared of asking. I was not as scared of asking questions. Now in a practice or pre-game post scenario, he does get a little more intense. He's not as laid back, and at that point, he does become a little more intense and harder to potentially grab from. Maybe a little bit more difficult to talk to, but that's a lot of players that come into the league. I've learned. I can get like that. McKinnon's just a little more intense than most. But that's it, again. That is just because he is. I think I wouldn't say dedicates himself more than most players. He just he has a very. I don't really know how to put this.
McKinnon in his earlier years did a lot of he did a lot of stuff with Sidney Crosby with Tim Hortons. He was on Trailer Park Boys. He was more of that little laid back kind of chill guy. But I think it really McKinnon really changed his entire mindset when he came to his job at hockey and decided that he didn't want to be on a losing team anymore. And it's really hard to do. It's something that you have to do as the number one overall prospect.
No, he's just a lot more not intimidating. Intimidating is not the right word I'm looking for. He's just got a way of focus. When he's in a game or practice situation, he gets very into it. And at that point, even when if I'm talking about you, when you're playing video games, you're not very approachable. Video games, just because you are so dedicated and focused to your craft.
It's not just video games.
It's mostly video games.
It's sports too.
No, I can approach you here. I'm fine with it.
Not when I'm playing sports.
I do want to comment on this. The Landeskog comes past far more approachable and open to a Joker laugh. He absolutely is. He's one of the few people in the room that is kind of a mutual joy, I would say. I love talking to Landeskog. I do feel a little bad over his return to hockey with the Eagles, and then again during the playoffs with the Avalanche. I felt like he got a little tired of us.
Yeah. What would you do to the mic? What do we do to the microphone, Billy? Oh, this is bad. This is embarrassing. Try the actual mic. Oh, this is rapidly turning bad.
Okay, no, we're back.
How do you know? I can't see him. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sorry about that. No, McKinnon's definitely the more approachable guy.
McKinnon?
No, Landeskog.
Landeskog. Yes, he's definitely one of the more approachable ones. I do feel a little bad that I feel like we bothered him with how much we wanted to talk to him last season. But it was a big storyline. I will say that. One of the other really approachable guys, from what I've learned in the locker room, has become Brent Burns. Brent Burns is a media delight.
That's how older guys are, though.
Yeah, well, yes. He's become a delight. I remember after his first availability, I stayed afterwards to chat with him for like 5 minutes, just about his coming into Colorado, testing different food. He mentioned that he has not had a bad meal since arriving to Colorado. I actually recommended him to one to Colorado.
Did you actually?
I did, and he said it was. He said it sounded really cool. He ended up writing it down.
Wine to Colorado outside Manitou Springs is a great place. It's kind of hard to get to, though.
It's a little difficult to get to, especially if you live in the Denver.
Nevada fell. He fell. Oh my God, my car! Don't do it to him.
Oh my gosh, is that
That's Lecky. That's Lecky on the goal.
that's a lucky goal if I have ever seen it. Quinn Foster. It's okay to be wrong.
Quinn,
It's fine.
Quinn, we've lived here for too long. You can't say that.
Arturi Lehkonen making it 3-0 for the Colorado Avalanche with just over 5 minutes to go in the second period. This is about as lucky as it gets when it comes to goals. You're talking about a gritty net front presence. He's got two different guys coming at him from behind, pushing him to the ground, and he's still able to get it into the net behind Kemper. Beautiful goal.
Makar there. That's just. I mean, that's just why Makar is been. It's like so elite compared to Quinn Hughes. I mean, Quinn Hughes is great. Don't get me wrong, but like that from Makar is just, you can't beat that kind of talent.
I do want to point out that is 2 points on the night for both Arturi Lehkonen and Martin Necas, who had the singular assist on that goal.
Martin Necas? Mm-hmm. Makar was the one who just carried the puck and shot it on net.
It looks as though, okay, wait.
Yeah, nope, Martin Necas only has one goal.
No, it was just listed as 2. They just fixed it. Updated Arturi Lehkonen with the goal, Cale Makar with the primary assist, Nathan McKinnon with the secondary.
No,
it literally, I'm looking at the media site right now, guys. I want to preface, and it did show Martin Necas having that primary assist. I even got a notification on fantasy because I have Martin Necas on my fantasy team.
I think he was the secondary assist. I think it was the secondary assist there, though.
Anyway, all things and specifics aside, the Colorado Avalanche are up 3-0 with 4 minutes to go in the second period as of looking at our ESPN broadcast. Colorado leading in a whopping 16 shots to 9 for LA.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, a far more dominating period, I'd say, from the Colorado Avalanche.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the Kings have had very good chances on their own. They've just come. They're not sustained pressure. It's more short bursts, mm-hmm. And this is why like guys like Georgiev and Annunen never really worked for the Avalanche, just purely because like Wedgwood hasn't gotten a shot here in a little bit. And but he's still always ready, and like that's what you kind of need with this team, because the Avalanche are going to give up some grade A opportunities. It's just how offensively they play, that's how it is. But I think Wedgwood's really doing a great job here of just not just not giving up a goal, obviously, but kind of just staying focused on the game.
Bring this up here. Quinn, you have an open invitation if you'd like to come in and actually talk about this. The Avs can get off to a much better start than last year. We might get to the second round.
I don't agree with that. I'm sorry, I was looking at I was looking at that, and like, man, I want the Canucks to be better. I don't think they will. Demko as a goaltender is too much of a question mark if he's going to. And man, it's just so hard not to put the Kings there because they still have the pieces to be a playoff. I understand you're a Canucks fan, Connor. It's just, man, it's hard for me as an outsider putting the Kings there. Quinn just said that our audio keeps crapping. Can you re-plug in the mic? Hello?
Keep talking. I'm wondering if
it can't be the audio because it's already on the one that we use normally. No, it's on the one that we use normally. We're gonna have to figure this out. Here. I don't know why it has not messed up in one podcast so far this year. But when we do the live stream, it's not working. Try to re-plug it in. Are you sure we're good? Are you sure?
Mhm.
Are you sure?
Oh my God! Here we go.
The king. It's not a winning formula, but the problem is that the Pacific is such a weak division overall. And I don't think that's a harsh thing to say either. I think the Kings are a very weak division. Unfortunately for you, or sorry, not the Kings are a very weak division, but the Pacific is. I mean, if they were in the Metropolitan, I'd have more questions. But the fact is, the Pacific is too easy. Back to Quinn's comment here, real quick. Quinn, if you had listened to our most recent episode on the Avalanche warning, we actually said this. And, the biggest thing that held the Avalanche back was a terrible first 2 months of the season.
What a shameless
October,
plug.
in October and November. But did we not talk about that on our last podcast episode? I think we did.
We did.
Mac has 2 assists on the night. Oh, he was the one who got the assist in the second goal. Not. Yeah, he did. I thought it was Nature's for some reason.
Well, on Malinsky's?
Yeah. No, I knew he had it on Malinsky's. I didn't know he had it on Lecky's. Because the Lecky one was Makar, McKinnon. Then the Nature's one was Lekkinen and trying to get your podcast.
I promise we're not paying Quinn to be a bot, just coming up for content for us
Hold
to
on,
talk
I
about.
paid him.
How much?
I paid him a lot of money.
Oh my God.
I paid him a lot of money. I'm kidding.
That's our dinner fund out the window. Thank you.
Name the team. I think the Ducks are the team that surprises me in the Pacific. If they can actually finally put it together. Yeah. The Ducks are close. It might not be this season, but they're closer than any team that's rebuilding, like the Sharks or the Blackhawks the Kraken are just the definition of terrible. But
Oh, they're playing Mo Bamba.
Yeah, I know.
Where's Reed when you need him?
I was the one singing at the Nebraska game.
He was the one singing it in the car on the way home from Nebraska.
The Ducks have a lot going for them. The famous problem with the Ducks, though, right now is that they have no defense. I mean, Lacombe is fine. Trouba's fine. Gudis is fine. But, that's the team that's the decor you want going forward. You need a lot more than just that. I mean, that decor is bad. And, I mean, a good offense could have all that cracked up to me.
I have 2 great pun people here. Zach is known for his puns.
Well, the Kraken are destined for a sink or swim franchise, and honestly, they've been sinking. They've been sinking ever since 22, 23.
You pun geniuses.
You're welcome.
See, he's blowing the lid, Grant.
Quinn, I told you I paid you. I just want. Where's Reed? I'm gonna get Reed to listen. You two can come on for a brief appearance.
A short appearance, as Grant wanted.
You started this Avalanche of puns. I always start the puns. Oh, that's not great. What a save by Wedge. Yeah,
Connor, I would agree. All right, we're looking at 1 minute and 14 seconds remaining on the clock for the second period. Yeah.
Maybe they really like the puns.
Oh, that's not encouragement to keep going, guys. Please. We're looking at 17 to 11.
No, they just went down.
Oh, good grief. Yeah, we're looking at 17 to 11 in shot count. Heading into the second intermission.
This is quid pro quo for the Avalanche, though. Have a really good second period and then just piss it all away with 3 minutes left to go.
Don't put anything into
I'm not. No, I
existence.
can't put anything into existence if I acknowledge its existence.
Profound.
Yeah. You don't jinx it. You jinx it by not jinxing it. You just state the obvious. Hey, Samuel Girard, you're not a foul. He just they didn't call interference on Girard for that. Are you kidding me? That was wild. Is that a delayed game?
Doesn't look like it.
I don't know. That looked close. I don't know if anybody was near him when he flicked that puck.
Add him to our tinted visor count.
I love the tinted visor look. I love it. Now it shouldn't be like you shouldn't have like red, blue, orange, or any of those colors, but the black, the smoke, that looks sick.
Yeah.
Oh, Edmonton is going in. Another power play with less time.
And this is what I prefer. Now, I'd prefer the a little bit more time to be run off the clock for this power play to start. But if you're going to have a power play that intersects two periods, I'd rather more time get played during the latter period than I would the prior period. That way you have a little bit more time to set up. Again, I am a firm believer in fresh ice being an immense help on the man advantage and kind of having that leg up to gain some of that possession if the Avalanche can set themselves up nicely in the zone. That is the key. And the Avalanche, if they decide to start off the third period with their first unit, they've got two great puck transitioners in both Nathan McKinnon and Martin Metcalf to be able to create that setup with about 120 left. All right. They will be going into the third period with 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining on their power play. One final period of regulation to go. Colorado up 3-0. This is classic Colorado Avalanche hockey, I will say. Let's go ahead and get us back up here on the main screen. Classic period of Avalanche hockey. They have a not so great first period and then come to bring the boom in the second period. Goals from Martin Metcalf and Lewinsky, who's and Arturi Lehkonen with a very Arturi Lehkonen-esque goal.
Great job. Don't screw this up. You've got you played a strong game, but most Avalanche fans know that through two periods, the Avalanche are really great for two periods, and they stink it up for one. Now the first period wasn't quite a stinker. The third one might be. So we just need to kind of monitor that and hope that nothing goes wrong. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I think there's something to be said about them. A little bit more. I did really like Nathan McKinnon in this period. That top line, I think, was incredible. I think the second line had a bit of a better first period than they did second period. But I don't think this is a bad period by any means. No, for the second line.
No, I mean that's the line that has to develop the most chemistry. Nutrition is not difficult to play with, but it's difficult to find him. Landeskog's still getting everything. Landeskog's still getting there. I don't know what's worse. This is not happening in any podcast or anything. This is unbelievable.
All right, testing here. We're good.
By the way, the Kings' helmets are far worse. And neither of them were worse than Stuart Skinner.
This is true. Very, very true.
Is it really sounds?
No, it's better.
Are you sure?
I can hear it. Alrighty. Well, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our final break of the stream, go take care of some things, go take a little break. You guys also go take a break, grab a beverage, or Zach, in your case, caffeine, for it being 12:30 on the East Coast. Good grief. But yeah, you guys go grab your beverage of choice, or your snack of choice, and we will.
Right back.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
What are you doing?
Hold on.
Stop.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
Hello, we are back. Grant, let's talk a little bit more about this game. A lot of better things to see. Hey, let's get some of the echo
just trying to
out
make
of the way here.
Just trying to make sure that we don't.
I've got a headphone in for the audio. We're good. Can you turn this off, please? So, in looking at this period, you've got 40 some odd seconds to go off of for another power play to end the period. Nothing much to call home about there. You see a few good transitions. But nothing stand out.
I think this isn't one of their greatest. I don't think this is the greatest game they're playing.
He says the first game into the season,
or the best game that they'll play all season, or the worst game they'll play all season. It's just kind of, it's just middle of the road. They're still figuring out stuff. However, the one thing that is proving to be great about at least this game is that they're finding a way to put goals. They're finding a way to score goals. And they're finding a way to put the puck in the net, and they're finding a way to win and get out to a big lead, because the Avalanche would have notoriously terrible starts. They'd find themselves behind, especially last season, or they kind of would keep teams in it, and they would never really close them out. 3-0, not, it's a really good lead, but some might say it's one of the worst leads in hockey. And, you just got to keep your foot on the gas pedal here for the last 20 minutes here. Or 20 miles, as they say in Shoresy there, bud.
Oh my gosh. Through 40 minutes. Lots of good guys to keep your eye on here. Who's been a standout to you so far?
I think the biggest standout, I would say, that I've noticed the most is probably, I would probably say Arturi Lehkonen, just because I do kind of fixate on him, especially being that top line. I will say two people that I have barely noticed all game are both Victor Olofsson and Brock Nelson. Mm-hmm. Brock Nelson I have not seen a lot of, other than that one, terrible score, or that terrible power play where he had no one around him and kind of just threw the puck to the net. And Victor Olofsson, I haven't seen him shoot. I haven't seen him really command the puck at all.
I would agree with that latter part.
3-0 is great, but that was after the second period, Quinn, not during the first period. The first period, they were struggling.
Kind of stunk a little. I think that's a classic period of Avalanche hockey, or just a classic period of, this is the first 20 minutes of the season. So there's a lot to improve on, and a lot to get under your feet. I think there's also something to be said about the Avalanche kind of assimilating to their competition, because the Kings did not give them much to work with during the first period, or at least didn't give them much space to work with on the ice. I feel like they're starting to notice the standby a little bit more. They're able to move around it a little bit better, I think, in the second period. You see them kind of throw on the gas a little bit. You're seeing them crash the net a little bit more. You're seeing them get a little bit more aggressive along the boards, seeing them do more, especially where transitions are concerned. I will be interested to see, now that they have a little bit more time than on the power play than they did to start the second period, if they can do anything with a minute to work with.
I mean, I don't think they will be. I think it's just more going to be of, let's try to figure out what we're dealing with here. I will say the Kings are taking the Stars approach to the penalty kill, where they're almost forcing someone other than Makar and McKinnon, and even Natchez for that matter, to make the big play for the Avalanche on the power play. Because if you watch their penalty kill, they're focusing three guys high and one guy kind of eliminating where the bumper would be if you were to be there. And the Avalanche are having to learn how to more so swing the puck low and maybe using, below the goal line as kind of a way of creating space and creating opportunities to set up a player like Lehkonen or find seam passes that you can get to Brock Nelson. And I think that's going to be very interesting to see because that's what the Stars did in the playoffs, and it looks like it's going to be a mainstay in the league here going forward. And so, you've got to adapt.
Yep. I would agree. Still a little bit time heading into the third period. We talked a little bit about leads and 3-0, in your opinion, not being the greatest lead to have in hockey.
Oh, hold on. I did want to highlight one comment. Thanks, Quinn. But, I hate this mentality of having to hold on to a lead. I hate that mentality. That is a losing mentality. And if you're just holding on to a lead, you're just trying to get the game over with. You should be trying to score and be offensive every single time you step out onto the ice, or even in any sport. But especially like when the Avalanche just try to hold on to a lead and play very defensively, that's when they lose. That's when they're beat. But fancy fight rematch between number 25 and Canucks Avs Tussle first.
I'm getting ready to look this up. I don't know when.
I don't think Logan O'Connor is going to be ready for you there, Connor.
That's.
I think he's. What's Logan O'Connor? Is he projected December or late November?
Mid-November is what Jared Bednar is projecting.
With Avalanche players, they never come back on schedule.
Yeah. So the first,
they never come back on schedule though.
If he's earlier than scheduled, the first matchup between the Avalanche and the Vancouver Canucks is slated to be in Vancouver on November 9th. So if for once Bednar and company are on par with a return from injury, we could potentially see a matchup of the 25s.
I don't think you're going to see Logan O'Connor, though, fighting so quickly to return.
No.
Sorry to burst your bubble, O'Connor.
It's definitely a matchup. A physical one, I would be I would be a little bit more hesitant on. So far, we're seeing Parker Kelly at 4C. Talk about guys who have not been super noticeable over 40. I think he's moving okay, but I wouldn't say he's been a standout, or I wouldn't say he's kind of middle of the barrel for me in this game. Hasn't exactly been noticeable, but definitely not a standout.
Yeah, but with 3 power plays, it's not like he's seeing a whole lot of ice time. And even like there's been no power play for the Kings. Like if you pull up your media site and everything, how much time does he have on the ice? Like barely any.
We're looking at 6 minutes, 24 seconds.
Yeah, that's not enough time for like Parker Kelly to be noticeable. I will say I'm a big fan of that 50% face-off percentage, though. Love that.
Through 6 minutes.
Love that.
I will say so.
Nelson at 0 for 8? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
Take a look at that, actually.
Buddy, get a grip. You're supposed to be the other guy that they turn to if Jack Drury's not available to, take face-offs. Dear Lord.
Ross Colton with not a lot of ice time.
It's a good thing, though, that we're not seeing a lot of Parker Kelly, because it's a bad sign when you're seeing your fourth line out there so much, like before the game is kind of in its like last 8 minutes. Hey, there's Santa Monica Pier. We were there. But, I think it's really great when we see the fourth line in like the last 7-8 minutes of the game. I don't really want to see them encroaching 10 minutes of ice time, earlier than that. The fourth line, as much as I like the players that we have, and I think they fit really great roles that the Avalanche need, they're not a Panthers fourth line where it's AJ Greer getting a goal, or it's Boquist getting a goal, or you're looking for them to create some offense while they're out on the ice. That's for all the top 3 lines to do. The fourth line, you want them to go out there, forecheck, make the lives miserable for the other team, and essentially get it ready for, the second line going back out there or the third line going back out there.
I will go ahead and say I did not watch any of the 2 games before this one. I had work.
You know what? This is, I'm going to quote Steve Dangle again, but I'm going to go ahead with it. This is the NHL this is the type of play the NHL wants to broadcast and they want to make popular. They want to create these physical rivalries like you saw in the 2000s, but they don't want it to overtake the skill that's in place with guys like McKinnon, Hughes brothers. I'll go that long. And it reminds you a lot of a 2000s game where people are just going in the box. Like it reminds you a lot of the Detroit Red Wings and Avalanche rivalry, which people have noted as one of the greatest rivalries in sports. Like that is something that, the NHL wants again. They want another rivalry like that. I don't think, that's fair. Not everybody wants to see the teams fully, everybody on the bench.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I was totally thinking of a different. Yeah. Okay. Wait.
But, but I personally, I'm a fan of it. I want to be entertained.
Zach, have I mentioned you're my favorite?
I want to be entertained, and that game was entertaining to me. I understand people don't like it. The 2000s era of people just fighting all the time are kind of out. But, sometimes with like what Barkov and was it Barkov and Hagel? No. It was Hagel. It was Hagel, wasn't it? Zach, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think it was Hagel and Barkov. They had their issues. Sort it out. You gotta look up Barkov Hagel, Bailey. Not gonna be there. Connor, I think it's gonna be less physical. No, it was in the playoffs playoffs. It was in the playoffs last season.
What am I looking at?
Quinn, a lot of people tout the Avs Red Wings rivalry as one of the greatest rivalries in sports. I mean, yes, those are all amazing rivalries, especially Yankees and Red Sox. But I mean, if you're, especially in the 90s, Avalanche versus Red Wings, a lot of people say that's the greatest rivalry in sports history. Not me. I think it's a great rivalry, but, I don't think this fight is going to go more into the season. Just get that off of there. I don't think this fight is going to go into the regular season as much, like physically. I think it's going to be there, especially like when they're both competing for a spot in the playoffs. And I think it's especially going to be there when it's in the postseason. But I think that's what the preseason's kind of for. It's for guys who are physical bruisers to,
Avalanche.
Be out there. The Avalanche are going to go on the penalty kill. Let's see if it's any better than last year.
First penalty kill of the regular season for the Colorado Avalanche.
Right after the power play.
Once they touch up on the puck. And here we go. 18:06 into the third period. Avalanche will be going on the penalty kill.
That's not a great way to start on.
Who touted as a great pickup solely for some of his numbers on the penalty kill with the Carolina Hurricanes last season. That's great positioning.
Brent Burns, you can't see your face. The stick is covering it.
Oh, it's not
Yeah, he got him. I mean, it's light, but it's the beginning of the season.
Yeah. So the Avalanche going on the penalty kill with one of their penalty killers or ideal penalty killers in the box. You're going to get an offensive zone draw, and unfortunately, Jack Drury's going to go down. It looked like he was almost attempting to draw things up there. Can you?
I'm making sure the audio is good.
I've got a headphone in. I can hear it on here.
Yeah, what head? Oh, yeah. Talk about getting burned on that.
Zach,
doesn't-
you
That doesn't quite work though, because they're not playing the Flames. That would work if they were.
Brent Burns.
Yes, I know, but it's I'm thinking what a joke of a call on that one. I think would be a better one. You know,
I can't sigh hard enough.
yes, you
I can. I couldn't sigh harder.
stop overthinking that. But that's
54 seconds to go. The Kings really haven't been able to set up very much of the offense, and they're doing a great job boxing them out of their own defensive zone.
Joel O'Neill. That is a guy I haven't seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Who's on this power? Dowdy, Brent Clark, Deneau,
Barrier.
This is a weird power play for the Kings. Is this normal? This can't be normal. This is a weird. Dowdy's not like young anymore. He's not. I mean, Brent Clark should be quarterbacking this year.
To quote the greats,
Take the aqua dump in your backyard, there, bud.
that's my quote.
If you're quoting Bailey,
My
sir,
quote.
Zach,
You missed
Bailey,
that. You missed that was a whole thing. You missed it.
Zach, if you're quoting Bailey, that's bad.
That was the whole thing. Kyle, our resident Canadian with the Hockey Podcast Network, is so proud of me, and it was one of my proudest moments of my life. I think.
What's river in
Go
Spanish?
jump in a lake, bud.
What's river in Spanish, bud?
Oh God! I can't believe this joke made it onto a live stream.
I won the cup in my first papers.
Hey yo!
That's unfortunate. I
Hey,
guess no one's showing up for that
yo.
parade because they're all busy, with their, sun-kissed beaches.
All right, Avalanche going back on the penalty kill. Kale McCarr getting a call
When did
for
the card
hooking. Let's look at it here. That's right on the hands. Yeah, that's right on the hands.
I mean, yeah, but is that really disrupting his ability to do anything? I mean, he's still got the backhand there.
I don't know there.
I mean, it's
a light call, but
it's
I
early
think
in the season.
I think it's a light call, but fair.
It's early in the
All the
season.
way. All,
Come on, Jerry. We should really got you for it.
15-26 in the third period. Avalanche starting to lose the lead on their shots. Still leading though at 19-15. Still no goals for LA. Colorado still leading.
No goals?
No goals, as wise philosopher once said. No goals. That is still my favorite commercial. I love that commercial so much.
Or you have to deal with it.
Thanks for sticking around, guys. I know for some of you, whether you're here in Colorado or over on the East Coast, it is starting to get my bedtime.
Yeah, you also fall asleep. So it's Kuzmenko. Who's on this top half? Who's the quarterback? Is it Kempe? Kuzmenko? I saw Byfield. I saw Kopitar. Who else is there? Who's 22? Is that Fiala? Is this all 5 forwards? This is all 5 forwards. I would put Frank Clark. You're gonna need to get him up.
Grant, you see this one?
That one wasn't your best one.
That wasn't. So they had to call Carol.
I mean, more so, because LA people are very
Nice clear there.
They need to rename hooking. And no,
I think it's pretty accurate.
Talk about an L take.
You
Quinn.
take the blade of your stick and you hook them.
It's I think it's a fairly named call.
I mean, you could honestly just put it underneath holding too, but then you're gonna get confusing.
5 seconds remaining on the LA Kings power play. Still have they've been
Great
able to
block,
set up
Parker Kelly.
a little bit more in this one. Dude saw EJ's retirement presser and said, "Hold my beer."
I still can't
We're
believe
all
you're
rusty,
I still
aren't
can't
we?
believe you're in this chat there, Zach. God, it's 1 a.m. for you.
1
Do
a.m.
you sleep?
No, we never sleep. It's the first day of the regular season. We don't sleep. Also, guys, not exactly a THPN pod to plug, but if you guys are looking for a stressful Stanley Cup final prediction, make sure to go check out the latest episode of the Locked On Hurricanes podcast. Good friend Zach had an interesting prediction for the Stanley Cup final, one that will have me on the edge of my seat if it actually happens.
First, us, Zach. It's never gonna happen.
Well, Locked On Avalanche.
I know, and I commented that in Chris's comments too. You jinxed it. Way to go. We're not getting out of the second round.
You know, and this begs the question while we're sitting in a TV timeout. We've talked about this a little bit on the podcast. I feel like the question begs coming up again. The seat level for Jared Bednar getting into this postseason. At what point, when it comes to a postseason exit, do you start making some of those calls for Jared Bednar?
You make the call that it's another second round exit at the hands of anybody else but the Dallas Stars. Yeah, I don't know what a Nave is either there, Quinn. I don't know what a Nave is. I only know Avs. I don't know what Aves are. But no, Bednar, if this is not if this is not a Western Conference final appearance for the Colorado Avalanche, or if they're losing to the Stars again in 7, I think Bednar has to go. I like him. I like what he's done with the team. I think he holds guys in a little bit too high regard. Samuel Girard. But it's just what's going on right now is great for regular season success. It doesn't work so well postseason, and especially when you have. I mean, the Avalanche have done the President's Trophy bit. They've done the Division Champs bit. But if the Florida Panthers are any indication, you just need to be in the playoffs and you need to be competitive.
Yep.
Kings over Avs is a wild statement, by the way, because you've got a lot of good teams to go over. And another penalty on the Avalanche. This is. No, it's on Fogle.
Yeah, Warren Fogle will be headed to the box for holding the Avalanche getting a chance on the power play with 13 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in regulation. Little bit of a break for the Avs penalty killers here.
I just listened to it.
All right. Looking at another 2 minutes to come off here.
Avalanche week. No, they're about to just absolutely crap the third period. This is a bad time for the Colorado Avalanche. You need to get one here. You have 4 opportunities on the power play. And there he goes, McCarr.
This is an opportunity for Brock Nelson to do a little bit more of
Seriously,
something.
buddy, you've been invisible, especially for $7.5 million.
I love offensive Cale Makar.
That's
That's
not
an
very
unfortunate pass from Lehkonen.
Yeah, get the top power play unit off there.
Yep. You know, I don't. Oh, Martin Nicholson spit off as well. I didn't get much of a change off there.
Hmm.
It doesn't. Oh yeah. Okay.
Are they calling interference here?
Ideally, that should have been.
Interference is an interesting call there. I mean, you're telling me, man. I was not happy with what we gave up for Nelson, and especially how he's played so far.
Again, this coming from the guy who really loved glazing on Cal Ritchie.
I think Cal Ritchie is something good that they needed for the future. Maybe not the immediate future, but maybe 2 seasons down the line. I think you could have had him grow into that, second line center position.
Not many chances on that power play, Avs.
Hell, you could have had him be on the fourth line. You could have had him be in the fourth line center right now and getting him game experience in the NHL. But anyways,
Avalanche had 0 shots on that last power play.
they're just not they're not in it right now on the power play, especially the second unit.
This is starting to look like a team that is a little too comfortable with their lead.
They're complacent, but Nelson needs to be off this top power play unit, and it needs to be with someone who's a threat to shooting the puck. Not saying that Nelson isn't. I just think Nelson is more suited for being on the second power play, where not a lot of puck handlers on that second power play. I mean, you have Burns, Taves, Matuchin, Landis. They just gotta get Olofsson. That's not really a recipe for success there in terms of puck handling. I think Nelson would do much better in the second power play. I think Olofsson's better for kind of a guy you want to get it to rip it.
Which, with the way that the Avalanche play, that doesn't really fare well. There's a lot of guys who've learned to play a somewhat dynamic game. You learn to move around the puck and with it rather than they've learned to be proactive rather than reactive. You've got players who've learned to become more proactive rather than reactive on this team, and I think that's important to take note of, and that's something Victor Olofsson is going to have to learn if he's going to fit in on this team. Because as much as you can love a guy's finishing ability on the ice and his ability to laser pucks at the net,
it's your duty as a coach to bring out the best in players.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'd agree.
Bednar needs to acknowledge that and change something. I'm not saying he needs to completely rip apart the lineup.
By this group, Quinn, who do you mean? All right, we're just 15 seconds under the 10-minute mark for regulation. Colorado leading in shots 20-16. Want to take a look at some of the more advanced stats here. Let's see.
Sorry if you're a Kings fan listening to us. We had more to talk about with the Kings. Just unfortunately,
I tried. I promise. I tried.
Colton's getting in Fiala's head there.
That's exactly what you want to see, though, too.
Fiala just cross-checked him right in the face.
I love this official.
TJ Luxmore was the guy when Benson fell on Wedgwood. That was him. We didn't call that. Yeah.
Maybe not then. wanna point out some hits leaders across both teams. Josh Manson currently leading the Colorado Avalanche with 5. The most amount of hits after that is coming from Parker Kelly with 3. As far as the Kings go, you are looking at Adrian Kempe with 5 hits. Most underneath that's going to come from Andrei Kuzmenko with 4. And then tied at 3 is going to be Anze Kopitar, and you've got Quinn Byfield with 3 as well as Jeff Malott. I love looking at it. It's interesting to see for me anyway how that fluctuates. Face-off percentages, looking across the lineup. Brock Nelson with a solid 10% success rate in the face-off dot. Parker Kelly at 50, Jack Drury at 55, Ross Colton at 50, Nathan McKinnon at 46, Gavin Brindley at 33. Martin Netches, having only taken 1 faceoff, is 100% in the faceoff dot, as well as Joel Kiviranta in the same position. Gabriel Landeskog at 66. On the other side of the ice, you're looking at Anze Kopitar being the leader in taking faceoffs for this team so far at 78.6% to faceoff dot, having won 11 out of 14. Alex Laferriere, 1 for 4 at 25%. Alex Turcotte, 33% in the faceoff dot. Philip Deneau is 6 for 12, so half a dozen won, 6 of the other, 50% in the faceoff dot. Warren Fogle at a solid 75%. Quentin Byfield at 45. 9:22 to go here in the third period. Avalanche just starting another 2 minutes of a power play.
Wow. What
right
a rip on the power play.
Netches scores, putting the Avalanche up 4
That's an assist.
nothing.
I think it's an assist for Brock Nelson.
You know, speak it into existence.
It's an assist for
And
Brock
maybe
Nelson.
it happens. Martin Netches with 2 goals.
I
on
think
the
that
night.
is, yeah, that's Brock. That's 100% Brock Nelson on that draw.
That's
What a shot.
That's a great rip. You know,
Hey, he didn't almost fall down this time. Nevada actually stayed on his feet. Flowers game jersey. Holy crap.
This is what I was telling
You
you
say
about last night.
650,000. You didn't say 1.6.
It was that last night.
Yeah, that power play did stink, Quinn. This power play is a lot better. This one has proven a lot better. This one went great. Shoot the puck. Someone should have made it 1.629. Just because his number's 29. No? Let's just say you could buy a lot of flowers with that kind of money.
Mm. Yeah. Now this is I understand, you know, we just talked about this team playing like they're complacent, playing like they're comfortable with 3-goal lead. That was quite a rip for a team that might have looked a little bit more complacent.
This is where you send out the second line and the third and the fourth line, and essentially
Give your
say
top guys a little more rest.
not even that. It's just kind of develop more chemistry with Nelson, Michushkin, Landeskog. Get some time for Olsen to kind of get familiar with the guys he's playing with. Give Gavin Brindley a little bit bigger of a shot with the opportunity that you're giving him. Michushkin is currently out there with Yoel Kiviranta and Parker Kelly. What is happening?
I'm Catfish just texted me and goes, Martin just trying to get paid in one game.
Yeah. Your dad to hop in the live.
My dad's not gonna hop in a live stream. Are you crazy?
Who knows? Maybe if I talk enough crap about the hurt, get home.
Okay.
I mean, hell, we have Zach in here.
Oh gosh, no. Catfish is not gonna hop on a live stream, I promise you.
No, because I haven't come.
He's not gonna do that. He would even tell you he has better things to do than I'll tell Kat that you said hi, Zach.
I'll drag you into it.
No, that's what he's telling you not to do, you idiot.
No, I'll drag you. I'm sorry. I have selective reading, so I only see drag me into this.
No.
I see drag me into this. I have selective reading.
Oh, good. All right, we're looking at just under 7 minutes to go here in regulation. Wedgwood with an incredible diving save.
Get the save for the boy here.
Avalanche heading back on the penalty kill.
That had to be a high
that's-
stick, right? There's no way that was anything else.
I almost saw a holding motion. That'll be Nathan McKinnon, who has a couple words going off the bench for Edmondson.
I should see this.
That's interference. There we go. Yeah, that is an incredible diving save for Scott Wedgwood. Thank God he's got the full face mask on there. That could have been a lot more dangerous.
I don't understand where the interference was. THPN, show where the interference was.
You know, this is what I cannot stand from ESPN.
Oh, for God's sake.
He looks like he's fine.
We don't
He
need
looks like
another
he's
person
fine.
either. You know, normally the goalies change out their masks every year. Like, and then,
He's got a new one, I think.
I don't think so.
I think. Well, no, it's the same one as last year. He's got a new one in the works.
What a face-off win! Get going, Nelson.
That's great diving job.
Is that Nichushkin and Nelson?
Looks like it. All right.
Don't worry, Rod Blandamore will never be Jared Blednar.
Quinn? No, the one thing I hate about ESPN's coverage is when you get a call, they have an opportunity to show, what the call was. But no, they're going to talk about what happened with Wedgwood the entire time. You play that clip once, maybe twice, and then you show me what happened on the penalty kill. It's not like I'm in person and I can see what's being played up on the jumbotron.
They forced all the stadiums, arenas to improve their capability for cameras.
Zach, I'm more worried about his power play numbers than I am about his penalty kill numbers. Based on reports, he seemed to do okay on the penalty kill last year. It's not, career breaking.
Wait, there's another penalty? Are they calling interference on Manson? Wait, what are you really gonna call that on Manson in front of the crease? God, this really is the beginning of the season. Man, you don't see that called all that often.
43 seconds of the two-man advantage. Interference on McKinnon. Cross-checking for Josh Manson. Jared Bednar, not happy behind the bench, and this is a guy who's normally very composed.
No, I don't know. Bednar loses it from time to time. I don't know.
This is a guy who I have only ever seen Bednar in.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I didn't see that. I thought it was a puck. I thought it was like a loose battle in front of the net. Oh, this is not great.
I don't mind that from Parker Kelly.
You just can't make it easy. You have to make them earn it. That's the problem. Especially with these 3-on-1s. I don't think the refs are calling everything just because they're getting blown out. I think they're calling everything because they're still getting used to being in the league. They're still getting used back into hockey.
I don't know. Yep, that's a goal. And Scott Wedgwood's shutout streak has officially been broken for the evening.
Shutout streak.
Not shutout streak. Shutout has officially been broken for the evening. Kevin Fiala makes it. It finally gets the Kings on the board with 4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in regulation. Kings are still going to be on the power play heading into the next puck drop. Nathan McKinnon will rejoin the Chaos.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to see a little bit better from Porter Kelly there. I'd like to see him kind of look at that because there was nothing going on that power play except the pass back and forth for the 1T. Just do the second clip.
It's like my two worlds colliding here with Quinn and Zach in the chat. This is crazy.
I don't know how man, you're gonna pull the goalie this early? Well, good luck with that, Quinn. He's in South Carolina.
Yeah. You feel like taking a trip to South Carolina, Quinn?
The worst Carolina, as Bailey likes to say.
It is the worst Carolina. No offense, Zach. Well, yes, actually, all of the offense, but it's fine.
And you thought my takes, and you thought I didn't know how to make friends.
Well, no, he knows. All right, Quentin Byfield with a little bit of speed heading into the offensive zone. Kemper is on the bench with 4:23 remaining. Screw that, I'd rather go to Colorado.
See, Bailey, Zach gets it. See? Best state right here, Colorado. You cannot let Fiala hit at 1T. You cannot let that happen.
The biggest thing they're going to want to do, Colorado has been solid on the PK. They'll want to break a formation here to try to get them a little out of sync. They managed to keep Kevin Fiala from scoring the one-timer. 20 seconds left on LA's power play. 3:41 left to go in regulation. And net is still empty.
Oh, stick broken on on Gerard. He's got Nelson's. That's a massive stick for a short lad.
And they have managed to kill off the
Come on, man. You got to get out of the box out there.
Kings are still on the man advantage with Kemper being on the bench. 3:17 left to go in regulation.
Burns, you got to be there, buddy.
The shot count is certainly going up on LA's side. They're catching up. Or actually, no, they've finally gotten the lead 23-21.
Burns, seal him!
Grant would love to host you.
Oh my god.
That's not up to Grant, to be honest.
It is up to me. I'm a co-host.
No, here in Colorado. It's not really up to you.
Oh yeah, that's not up to me.
Quinn's got the place. Quinn's got a place.
All right, Connor, it was a pleasure having you in the comments here, my friend.
Have a good night. Good luck with the
see you on the next one.
Oh man, there's some flares tumbling off. Oh my god, LaFerriere is just throwing haymakers at everybody.
You know, if I had to pick a guy who I really wanted to see succeed on this Kings team, it would be Alex LaFerriere.
No.
I think I love watching that kid and the spunk that he's got on this team. I think it's something very No, I love the spunk that he brings to the Kings bench.
I'm a bigger fan of Quentin Byfield myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Better guy.
Yeah. Very in-depth analysis there. Really appreciate that.
Hey. Oh, that was not amazing, but there. Surprised with 2:43 left, they still have the empty net.
I'm not really surprised with that at all.
Why is Burns up top? Gerard's the better skater.
Praise for Sam Girard?
I didn't say praise, I stated facts.
Saying good things? Oh, Scott Wedgwood.
Yeah, beat him up! Beat him up! Don't let him hit your goalie like that. Don't let that happen.
A little bit of a scrum with 2:19 here remaining. Still trying to see who is going off.
I kind of miss what happened. I don't know what set that all off.
So did I. Trying to pull his tape off.
That's amazing analysis there. Guys, get it tape off the stick. That's great analysis. I've never seen analysis.
Here's the call here.
Wait, that's only it? Are you serious?
Brant Clark for LA going to the bench for cross checking. The Avalanche will go on the power play for 2 minutes of the remaining 2 minutes and 19 seconds in regulation. Very undisciplined, especially last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, the refs got to get their pay here. They got to be calling up penalties. I mean, TJ Luxmore doesn't really know what a penalty is in the division, so not big surprise.
I normally don't have problems as a official.
Are you sure? Because
I said normally. I said normally.
The the Toronto Maple Leafs fans will tell you that they don't do well with TJ Luxmore either.
I know they don't. I need to do more in-depth research on certain officials, but no, I normally don't have a problem with them. I think they've been a little overzealous with some of the calls here in this third period. It's not the preseason by any means. This is not a game where you want to go into a let them play mentality. But I also think there's something to be said on some calls being too soft.
I mean, yeah. I don't. You pull up like if because the Panthers Blackhawks game was on the similar lines of like how many penalties were being called? How many penalties were called?
3.
There were 3 penalties called. Wow.
3 total penalties for the Panthers game for Blackhawks and Panthers.
Oh man, Brent Clark went right after Lecky. You missed that. I mean, like that couldn't be more blatant if you wanted it to. These fans don't do well with it. Hey.
But Zach.
This might be my
Oh shoot! Good gosh, Nathan McKinnon barreled at it.
I mean, you do not want to piss off Nathan McKinnon. 5 penalties. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Lekanen on the bench. Are they giving the second unit a shot here?
No,
Oh, they have Taves and McCall. Oh, they're probably anticipating.
not surprising. I mean, not if they can get set up.
I mean, honestly, you don't really have to be set up. You can kind of just let them do it.
No, I mean, if they're smart, they're not going to get complacent. I'd like to see them not play keep away with the puck here. The thing you're going to start to see here, though, is Netchess is going to be a target for a lot of these passes, which can be an unhappy watch.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
See, there you go.
Yeah, the commentators are right behind you, sweetie. Brock Nelson, you got it. Hey, that wasn't even close. Seriously, I think Brock Nelson has that assist, right? On the second major pool. Yeah, he does.
There you go. There's this for Brock Nelson.
That's one of the big people that's one of the guys that everybody keeps like saying drafting fantasy in like the lower rounds is Brock Nelson. all want.
After you were just crapping on him.
I agree. I don't think you should, but like all these different websites have Brock Nelson as the guy
That's
to
a
pick.
great self-pass. And we're hitting the 1 minute mark in regulation. Colorado still with 30 seconds left. 37 seconds left on the power play.
Max, that was a
Line's
weak
down.
sauce pass. Good Lord.
Kings are going to try to do what they can with this puck and get a change off. The car's still on the ice. Looks like Olofsson is out here now. Netjes has gotten off of the ice. Nichushkin up with the puck. Pass over to
Rip the puck there, bud. Rip it!
Burns with a nice rip from the blue line.
Oh, great. Gerard's out there. Yes!
Olofsson doing what he does with a bit of a finishing rip right above the hash mark. 13 seconds remaining. Avs still up 4-1. 8 seconds to go.
Dang, Kingston has one home up there. Oh my God, Olsen just absolutely ripped a clapper. Holy Lord.
And that is going to do it for the first game of the regular season. Colorado will come back home to play a game against the Utah Mammoth on Thursday here at Ball Arena. Grant. Maybe not the start you want to see, and maybe not the end you want to see either with all of the penalties being handed out. But overall, thoughts on this game? I am overall not mad.
I think the Avalanche took their business, especially late in this game. Maybe not the way we want to see it, but I think, getting in the win column early. It wasn't like last year where, there were like 6 goals scored and the Avalanche had to really come from behind to win. And like every one of those games because you were given on and then goal after goal after goal. But I think this is a good win throughout the season. Let's keep it going with the Utah Mammoth at home for the season opener. And we've got really, really big test in Dallas.
If I am not mistaken, I need to do a little bit of research before I see. But in looking at the schedule for the Utah Mammoth, I believe the Avalanche have the pleasure of playing in the Utah Mammoth's first ever game since being so that is a little bit of a milestone here. Yeah, that's going to be an exciting thing. Finally get back in the barn to officially bring in the first game 30th anniversary season. I think, but as exciting as 30, maybe as exciting as it is for the season to finally be back. I think fans are more excited to see those third alternate jerseys more than anything.
I agree.
Yeah. There's been little sprinkles and teases. The Avalanche broke in the new helmets at practice yesterday. And not only did you see that 30th anniversary logo on the back to the left of the numbers had a bit of an antique feel to them with being outlined in red. And then you see that vintage orange NHL logo on the right. How can it not be the Nordiques at this point?
I don't know, but I would love to see the Nordiques jerseys back. I will say the reverse retros, the first ones with the Nordiques, might be the greatest jersey in sports. But that can be debated with people.
Certainly.
But, Hurricanes jerseys aren't making that.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Did I say anything?
I just wanted to rub
Did I say anything?
I just wanted to rub that in. But, yeah, I think it will be the Nordiques. I hope it's some spin on it. That it's not just a blatant Nordiques, jersey.
But if
Like,
so, I'm not complaining. I love those jerseys. I think a lot of the NHL fan base does too.
I think we'll definitely see. I definitely we're going to see some sort of blue iteration of the Nordiques jersey, just given what the helmets look like. But per sources from Guerrilla Sports, Jesse Montano, it sounds like Avs fans could be seeing that sometime this week. So lots of exciting things to look forward to with the upcoming home game against the Utah Mammoth on Thursday. Even bigger game coming up on Saturday. The Avalanche will host the Dallas Stars on Saturday. And as nice as a homecoming is for a Utah Mammoth game, it's going to be interesting to see how the Avalanche respond to the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year, this early on in the season.
With a whole lot of grit and a whole lot of bubblegum.
It's going to be the first regular season return. No, it's not the first regular season return.
Nope.
You'll see Mikko Rantanen return yet again to Ball Arena.
I'm kind of tired of talking about Mikko Rantanen.
Get used to it, honey. Overall, I think Avalanche, if we're looking at anything to stand out from this period, it's the second from this game. It's the second period. They played a great game during the second period. I thought they dominated.
Nate just learned how to shoot the puck without falling on the second goal.
He did.
Also, I just want to go back to this. I just want to just go back to this comment real quick here because this has been bothering me. I said my favorite jersey, one of my favorite jerseys, and some people do recognize them.
He did preface it by saying could be argued.
And some people do say that is the best jersey in sports. Not just me. Some people. I've heard other people say it too. But yes, the second period was a major highlight for the Avalanche. That was the period that they took over. They never really let the Kings kind of get a foothold in the game whatsoever, except for when they had the 3-on the 2-man advantage. And honestly, that's really hard in the best of circumstances to kind of go up against. But they took care of business tonight and they were able to, get the win.
They're ganging up here.
I know they are.
With that, guys, that is going to do it for our opening night coverage, capping off a triple header here, or at least a double header from here, us at THPN. If you have an opportunity, be sure to go catch the replay of Jimmy with the blue seats covering the Rangers-Penguins game from earlier today. Again, that's going to do it for us here at the Hockey News. I'm Bailey. That's Grant. Be sure to go check out the Avalanche Warning on any listening platform, wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, whatever you find yourself listening to. Be sure to go check us out there. Go check out the Hockey Podcast Network over on Instagram and Twitter at HockeyPodNet. Again, they have a show for you guys, whatever you are feeling in that moment. For any of the 32 NHL teams, they have a show for you. If you're looking for some fantasy coverage, kind of gearing into the fantasy season, which has just started today, be sure to go check out some of the podcasts over there as well. Thank you for our sponsors in DraftKings Sportsbook and over at Game Time. Be sure to go use code THPN for beginning users only and get in on some of those free bets. Again, I'm Bailey. That's Grant, and we will see you next time.
That was